Going
Think
live.
so?
It's gonna
We're
start
going
up.
live?
I think it's gonna start up pretty soon here. I think it's gonna
I mean,
start up.
I could. Yeah, it's still not live over here.
No, well, it's gonna start up soon. It's gonna be very soon where it's gonna start up to where I know for sure that it's going to be live. And now I know for sure it is live. All right, what's up, everyone?
I got the text.
Yeah. OJ here. Welcome back to another PE podcast. This is episode 70. We had a lot of people scheduled to come on, but a lot of people couldn't show up today. So we've got still an all-star cast, an all-star Charizard pulling cast here. I mean, somebody who just can't stop pulling Charizards and stuff and just showing us with pictures, pulling thousands of dollars worth of Charizards here, you know? So we got an all-star Charizard cast. And we're gonna start off with Mr. Charizard himself. Yo, Jordan French, how you doing today, my man? Tell us about these Charizards you're pulling.
So I got two. So these two are shiny Charizards, the most expensive, newest card in Pokemon. The minimum they sell for, just like this, is $5.50 roughly. You get it graded, it's a lot more.
Did you say $5.50?
No, you gotta move the decimal over two to the right. That's a $550.
$55 even?
Two. You only went one. It's two over.
Oh, okay.
It's two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two.
And then this card's like about $100.
I keep on cutting you off. I need to just shut up. Go ahead.
So your whole career in my hand right there, basically.
Hey.
But yeah. That's just been opening Pokemon cards, so that's about it. It's my life right now.
Good to have you here, man, and I'm really glad to see that your channel with the whole Pokemon card stuff is doing really well, dude.
It's finally been taken off. That 30,000 is creeping back up, which is nice. About 200 subs away from that again.
You're just pounding the algorithm. That's really all it is. You know what I'm saying? Just pounding that.
I've had some really banger videos. A lot of banger videos to pound the algorithm.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
It almost feels like, because we're going to talk about YouTube, but it almost feels like you've got to specialize in one thing if you're just a single person, if you want to get anywhere, you know? It almost feels that way.
Basically.
True.
And it helps that I'm doing daily content and I'm looking in the analytics. They're all feeding off of each other, which is nice. And the click-through rates have been pretty good. My CPM is insanely high, which I'm very appreciative of. It's not paying back the cards I'm buying by any means.
But you got a $550 card right there, so you can pay it back.
I mean but that still hasn't. Even if I sold both of those at $550, still hasn't paid back what I've spent on this.
Well, you still pulled $550, and the revenue.
I'm gonna pull a third. I have enough cards left to pull a third.
Tomorrow
I probably
morning?
can.
You're going tomorrow morning?
No, but maybe next week or the week after, I may have pulled a third.
Okay, sounds good. Next up is my boy Abaddon. Abaddon, how you doing today, my man?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. You guys know rebranding the new channel and just doing live streams. After this stream, I will be playing Link's Awakening.
Yes.
Because
head over to Abaddon's channel, Link's Awakening tonight, guys.
For those of you who don't know, that was my first Zelda game that I ever played, so I'm really excited to do that. And fun fact for everybody: Area 51 and raid is actually happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but it isn't.
It is,
yeah.
But it isn't. I've had to deal with this.
All the roads are closed leading into it. Someone was there today or yesterday, posted a video. All the roads are leading into it are closed.
This stupidity has been going on for too long.
We'll see a bunch of vlogs tomorrow, though.
Yeah, that's true. I'm thinking about how I can clickbait this stupidity. I'm trying to think of
stream Area 51 video game.
Yeah. What video game?
I rated Area 51, and it's you playing Area 51 game.
What system is that on? Where can I get that at?
I think that was a 360 game.
I'll have to do some research.
Maybe a PS3 game. I'm sure you can put it on Steam or something.
Yeah. I'll probably just pick it up on Steam, or maybe I can just go get it on 360 or something. Because I am going to be heading off to go get Link's Awakening in my Switch Lite tomorrow morning. So gonna be some unboxing videos and stuff like that for Switch Lite and how it feels in Link's Awakening and all that. So that should be fun. But yeah, man, what's up, guys? Good to see you guys all here. Shout out to over 100 people watching already. Baron lost track of time, he told me. So Baron's in, but he's getting his camera set up and everything. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into some of the topics here, guys.
Hold up, you ain't going to stop my intro.
Man, well, your mic was muted and your camera's not on. I didn't know if you were ready or not.
Dang, man.
I didn't know if you were ready. All right, Baron, what's up, man? How's it going?
It's going good. I was ranting on Death Stranding and
really
big up to Jordan for bringing it.
I'm surprised you were ranting on Death Stranding. Really, I'm surprised.
If it wasn't for Jordan, I probably would have been super late because I was like, oh shit. I didn't realize what was going on. I was running my mouth so much.
Oh man.
I mean, you do that.
Quite often.
But yeah, I'm loving this Leaks Awakening remake review scores. You know what I'm saying? I'm hyped today.
Yeah.
About some
Good scores today. We'll talk about that. But first, before we get into that, we're gonna talk about some good old YouTube action, man. This is interesting. Yeah, this is a big one. I have some opinions on this, and I know Jordan. He has some stuff that he wants to say. None of us were verified, so I guess we can't speak from that perspective. None of us that in terms of our direct channels. Now Jordan, works with, of course, channels, a bunch of channels that are verified and they got unverified or kept their verification, so he can speak on that in terms of being part of the team. But individually owning a channel, none of us were. But maybe Jordan has a little bit more I'm pretty sure he'll have more to add on that. But I kind of wanted to just give my quick take on it because I actually already talked about it earlier in a live stream, and you guys will be able to watch that earlier. But I think that just one of the reasons why I think this is happening too is one, of course, because of the celebrities that are flocking to YouTube in mass amounts. I think it definitely has to do with that and YouTube wanting to make sure that they get in terms of how they, that type of shine on them. But there's also other factors. I also think that, like, if you look at it, there's a lot of fraudulent verified YouTube channels, like a lot. There's not like a ton because the amount of people that are verified are very small compared to the rest, but there are channels that literally rebroadcast other people streaming, do stupid meme stuff and all this. They have in my opinion, have no business being verified because they're just stealing everybody else's stuff. So I think that might have been one of the reasons why this type of change was going on too. But there are fraudulent verified channels that take people's stuff and do stupid things. Unfortunately, though, some of those channels still kept their verification, so it didn't always work like it was supposed to. But there's probably more things, but I kind of want to hear you guys' opinions, the rest of the cast here, what you guys are thinking about all this. So I'll go ahead and I'll start with Jordan, man. What are your thoughts on this whole YouTube thing? Because for those who don't, let me just kind of set up the premise here. YouTube is taking away verification check marks from people and trying to regrading the criteria. And there was a lot of guys out there that had verifications, like Austin John Plays. You guys know him. He's been on the Spawncast. And Ant Dude, for example, he hasn't been on the Spawncast, but a lot of you guys might know Ant Dude. And other channels that got their verification taken away. Some of them kept it. I know John kept it. I think Dreamcast Guy kept his. I think Sean kept his. So, but lots of other people got it taken away. So, Jordan, what's your thoughts, man? And what's going on here? October, I guess they're going to change it. Like, new verification where it's going to be like a little shaded background now. So...
Yeah, so like how when verified people join live streams, besides just having the check mark, it shows their name in like gray like rectangle, just to like make sure it's someone who's verified. That's basically what it's going to look like, except with a little slant on the right side. That's about it, and the little check mark goes away. But what you said, yeah, there's merit to that, like some iffy channels and all that. But the real reason behind the scenes of why they are doing this, because when you really think about it, it's kind of a useless thing. Everyone who got these verifications were verified. Why should they have to be re-verified? Why should they have it taken away? Nothing really changed. It just kind of seems like a useless update. But whenever YouTube does something, it's for a reason. Yeah. So like when they did the recent sub number changes where it just rounds up and down to the nearest zero, basically, for you, the nearest tens or hundreds or thousands, depending on your size. There is an internal reason for that, but we all just think it's pointless, right? It's just to keep numbers very organized when they deal with brands and all this other stuff. But it's basically to make them less accountable. So basically, when advertisers are dealing with YouTube, and working with them, and they see like a channel that is like spews hate or talks trash about Marvel all day or something like this, right? Any of those examples, something that YouTube may not like, right? But they're verified and they have a large following, right? This is a way to unverify them and not re-verify them. So when advertisers come, they're like, oh, he's a YouTuber, but we're not verifying him. He's not partnered with us. We're not shining a light on him. This is basically for them to look good in the eyes of more advertisers, especially with all the recent stuff that has happened over the last 3-4 years with advertising wars, from the adpocalypse to you name it. Basically, there's always been all these issues going on. So that's the gist of why this is happening. It's mainly advertisers and for YouTube to disassociate themselves from others, and that's a reason why the new criteria to get a check mark is, hey, we'll give you it. You're not gonna apply for it. You're not just gonna get it at 100,000. you may just wake up one day with it. That's about it. That's the new rules. And while to us the check mark really doesn't mean anything, I think there could be more internal repercussions in terms of how it's going to affect the algorithm for channels that do have verified check marks before. It may help to push their content because they are verified. Now it may push their content less, ruin their CPMs, ruin their outreach. So there are other things it could do. That's not verified data yet. This just happened today. But this is on the surface, it looks like nothing, right? It just kind of looks like, oh, it's a check mark. You have it, you don't. But there's more to it on the backside. So hopefully that is easily understandable. I know I just kind of went on a long time there, but I hope.
No, that was good info.
No, that was good.
Okay.
That was good info.
Cool. So that's just my take and the facts behind the scenes. But yeah.
Yeah. Some of our audience is asking. Aaron says, who's one of the long-term elite ninjas, says, when am I going to get one of these? You don't need one. You got a Renengan by your name. That's even better than a check mark, right? And it's gonna turn into the new one at 2 years. So that's even better, right? That's way more style than a stupid check mark.
Baxter.
Yo, Mr. T, what's up, man? Everything looking good on your camera, or can you hear us?
Well, he's at one frame per second.
Yeah, man.
And
lagging.
the mic's muted. But that is probably the highest camera angle I've seen.
This man got that. They got that NFL camera.
He got that red zone package.
Yeah, the red zone package. Got that XFL innovation back in the day. You remember when they did that first, bro? The XFL.
It looks like the camera's slowly like panning away as like it's ending a clip. This is my first introduction with him. I'm just roasting him. I apologize. He can't even come here and defend himself because the mic's muted.
Nah, bro. If you coming in with that skyline, we gotta say something.
Oh man,
I can't do that. It showed one of my bald spots.
I can't joke on him because when I got my new setup and everything, I had the thing the same way. So I can't even go on him right now.
All right. Well, Abaddon, let's hear your take on this whole YouTube shenanigans, man.
To put it simple, I'm super apathetic about it. It doesn't change anything that I'm going to do personally. I do feel somewhat a little bit for the people who are somewhat affected by this, who were verified. But at the same time, I don't. Because at the end of the day, and as I was discussing on Twitter earlier today, is YouTube is just an opportunity. Like, this is all this YouTube space. This is just rented space. So it's like, when the landlord comes and says, these are the new rules, if you haven't invested anything to make changes on your own or to invest in yourself, that's on you, not the platform. And I hate to be that guy. This is not me. And as I said on Twitter, this is not me caping for YouTube. I'm super pro ownership. So if most of that 100K subscribers, because that's the mark of verification, if I recall, at what it used to be, if most of those people don't follow you, if you move to a new platform, most of those 100K followers are not yours. That's just how I feel about it. So that's why I'm kind of like, okay, is YouTube being YouTube again? They're just changing their rules whenever they please. And honestly, that's why for me personally, I have uploaded a lot less. That's why I've been changing my entire game plan with YouTube, because I don't want to make most of my income come from this. I don't trust it. It's too unstable. So
yeah, I think you bring up an interesting point there, and I kind of have a counter, but also an agreement to that. So yes, we're on a rented space. So I say this for like every website. So like if someone gets muted or silenced on Twitter or on Facebook or on Twitch or whatever, right? I'm like, it sucks, but at the end of the day, you're on their platform. Mm-hmm. So whatever they say is law, and you go by it. When in Rome, do as the Romans do, right? It's by law. But at the same time, YouTube, like we'll take YouTube for example, is not the website it is today without the creators who have helped. If no one's making content, they can't put ads on anything. They can't make money. Now, obviously, when we're talking about under 100,000 subs, YouTube for the most part doesn't care about that category. If it's under 100,000, it's really not making much money. They don't care too much. But when it's their big creators or their celebrities, so they like if we all boycotted it today, right? doesn't matter. It doesn't change a thing. We could stop because we can't actually make a change. But when people speak up about it, it's good. It's encouraged, because if enough people speak and larger creators speak for a lot of the people who may not have a larger voice, changes get made. And we've seen that with YouTube, where enough people speak out. Some things do get fixed. Some things
Absolutely.
don't.
Absolutely.
So it's a two-way thing right here. You're exactly correct. It's like we're on their space, but also I think no matter what size you are, you do have some sort of responsibility to also voice your opinions, because you're on a site that's supposed to help them back as much as it's supposed to help you.
Absolutely.
So it's a two-way thing, you know?
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And thank you for pointing that out. I'm not saying don't voice your opinion, but at the same time, I'm also encouraging more creators. All of us who are on this, podcast right here, anyone who's in the chat, who's a creator themselves, to invest more in yourself. Take the opportunity 100%. And put more stock into yourself and everything that you have going for you. Because at the end of the day, and we've seen it, YouTube is down for about a few hours. And I don't ever want to be in a position where I get anxious, like, yo, is this going to come back up? What's going on here? You don't ever want to put yourself in a position where you don't have control of the amount of income that comes back into you in your pockets. So that's why when I look at it, I'm like, okay, it sucks. Like Philip DeFranco, that sucks for him, because honestly, the man puts in work. Like he has his own team. No, he does. He legit does.
Does he?
Like you can't knock his hustle. He's worked for over 10, 12 years doing this.
I just said, does he? That's all I said. Does he?
I know, but you know what does he connotates on the internet.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry I said anything.
I'm just no, it's good. I'm just letting you know.
It's good. Like I'll give Philip DeFranco. I'll give some, but at the same time, I'm also looking at it like as someone as big as him. And as well as he's been doing like news and journalism, he can make his own platform, legit.
Well, look what just happened with Jesse, the guy who he plays the
McJuggernauts.
McJuggernuggets. So he has this app in his business created called Storyfire, right?
Yep.
It's basically an app on your phone. He's making specific content for that has way better ad rates, and he made this whole long Twitter post yesterday, I believe.
I read
and it was
thing.
Literally so long. Like that was like a whole book right there. He dropped a whole novel on Twitter. But he basically announced that he's leaving YouTube permanently because he showed his outrights. Like he still was making $80,000 for the month, but he's like, for how many views he got to how much he was paid out, he's like, this is ridiculous. I can't afford to do the stuff we were doing anymore. It cost me this much to go here and do all this and buy this and film this. So this isn't cutting it. I can't pay people to do stuff. I can't even pay my there is an example. So when you see a lot of these bigger creators who are like, oh, this sucks, I'm demonetized, but you're like, oh, you have millions of subs. Why are you complaining? You're still making $80,000 a month. That's more than most people make in 2 years. Like that's insane.
3 years
in some
cases.
It's 3 exactly. So like it's all a perspective shift.
Yeah.
So it may seem like, bro, that's 80,000. You should just do your money better, but you also don't know the behind the scenes, the production, how much money supports multiple people.
Absolutely.
He's not making that 80,000 for himself. That 80,000 goes to him. He can live. A lot of it goes to taxes, and legitimately you're supposed to save 30 to 40% of your income getting ready for taxes, but on his end with what he's making, he's probably saving about half that or more for taxes.
He's in a higher tax grade, so yeah,
he has
definitely.
to pay for his whole crew that he uses to do stuff and all this. Like it is a lot of money, but you get the point I'm going for with that. I don't need to keep reiterating.
Like he doesn't have a production budget like mine, you know what I'm saying, where it's like essentially almost nothing, you know?
Yeah,
right. It's a new game here and there, once a week maybe. You're streaming, like it pays itself back. Like you have a good ecosystem. Right now I'm kind of in the shift of finally back on an uprise. So like here's what I'm spending, here's what I'm making. So I'm not paying myself back yet for the products I've been buying for the channel to supply the content, but there will be that time when it meets itself, and that'll be great. Because my channel is just a hobby, but you also should view YouTube like as an opportunity to do something, but use it as a way to get somewhere else to make your money. YouTube shouldn't be most YouTubers. You can ask a lot of the larger YouTubers. Their majority of their money does not come from YouTube AdSense. AdSense is some money. That's like a little bonus tip at the end for some of them. But their productions are on merch. Their productions are on anything that they sell outside of it or what they do outside of YouTube. Like there's a lot of other business opportunities that come the way. A lot of them get paid off of brand deals. And that's where they make their majority of their money per month. and then the YouTube algorithm money that all puts together what they make is chump change, and they just throw it to taxes for when they have to pay, and they just save that money because it literally is a dime a dozen compared to like the real money that comes in when you're that size on brand deals and all that.
Yeah, merch is a big, big
merch
thing.
is
merch is huge.
Yeah, merch is really huge for them. And yeah, I mean, I have to agree with what both of you guys were saying to kind of go, back and forth with that. I mean, once again, yeah, like this is just a platform, and like the more that I realize that, like I started to realize that over the course of just like doing YouTube is so, it can be so random. If you haven't made it up to that spot yet, it can be so random with the algorithm. You could beat your head against it and just not know what to do. You could be doing super hot, something like Fire Emblem. Oh man, it's doing great. People are coming. And then as soon as that's done, bam, like nothing else. You know what I'm saying?
I can attest to that with Spyro, very much so.
Exactly. And like the algorithm's like, oh, well, you were this person, so there you go. So that's
now we're always going to categorize you as this, and since you're not that anymore, now you're penalized.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen some comments in the chat that are being like I'm glad I don't do YouTube. I get screwed over in a second, and I don't want to. I want to if you want to do YouTube. You should never go into YouTube with the mindset that I'm going to make it big, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to do something with this and be massive and all that.
Absolutely.
You have to treat it as a hobby, something you want to do. And if you have the drive to upload every day or cover certain things that are trending, then sure, go ahead. But you have to do it because you want to do it, because it's fun, because you have a passion for that, and let that drive your success.
This man's speaking
right now. Literally, I've been on this Pokemon grind after I took my break. I care about Pokemon a lot. My channel started off as a Pokemon channel, right? Then it shifted to Spyro, and I took a break, and I had to figure myself out. I came back as Pokemon. Lost a lot of subs, lost a lot of revenue, lost a lot of stuff. I'm finally... lot of revenue.
A lot of revenue.
But now I'm back on this upswing, finally, because I've created a new audience, just doing what I love. I have not been mass spamming out videos. I've been slowly getting into it. Now I do a video every day, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, opening up Pokemon cards. And it's just me making jokes, doing silly edits, and pulling some fun cards. And because I'm having fun with it, the new audiences come around that are not Spyro audience, which is nice. Some of them are still there, which is awesome. And they're enjoying the content for what it is. And it's growing, and that means a lot to me. And that's dope. But my plan is not to make this successful. Like my main job may be editing for other people on this platform, right? But half my job is doing stuff with them that is not on YouTube, right? I may edit videos for them for YouTube, but half of our procedures in there. I'm working on some big stuff right now. That's an actual TV production that's in very early stages out of New York. So that's the end goal. Like that's what I want to get to. Like the actual stuff I care about, like when I get to be a director, or I get to do stuff behind the scenes of actual putting together a TV show or an actual short film or a full-length movie. That's the stuff I'm getting to. That's finally I'm dipping my toes into at the end of this year, early next year. And that's where the passion really goes. That's where the money it comes in. That's where my dream comes in. That's what I'm going for. I don't care about making money on YouTube. Half the stuff anyway, everything I do gets donated to charity or mental health organizations. If you buy any of my merch, half of that instantly goes straight to NAMI every month. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I show updates of my donations every month. And that's what I like doing. If I can make a positive impact in the world, that's what I care about. That's why I have a family-friendly channel, which doesn't mean kid channel.
It doesn't. That's Thank you.
Big difference. That just means I act like if I was at the Thanksgiving family table. I'm just talking like myself. I'm just not cursing. That's about it. And I get a lot of thank yous saying, hey, I watch with my son and or daughter, and we appreciate that you're family friendly. And that means the world to me, that all these generations of families are coming together for something that I like as well. And they can stay there and they don't have to worry. They can put me on, and not have to worry that I'm going to, start dropping F-bombs every few seconds. Now I'm a lot more loose on like this podcast or Spawncast, but it's also a different environment.
My videos, I'm very family. I don't curse at all. But then
and then the podcast comes around and you get Emperor. So
streams and stuff a little bit more loose, because it's nighttime or whatever. Or even streams during the day. But no, man, I feel what you're saying, man. I mean, Baron and
sorry for my long spiel, everyone.
No, you're good, dude. We got time. You're good.
Yeah,
we just started. Baron and Mrs. T, they're using that McDonald's Wi-Fi today. It looks
Yeah,
like
I'm.
You gonna stop
guys hear me?
talking about my Wi-Fi?
y'all using that.
You
Y'all
Listen,
You hear me?
Actually was talking on the phone, so yeah.
talking on the phone to who? Your boyfriend or what?
Get your priorities.
You really
wow,
gonna try me like that?
Huh?
wow.
What?
But
You
anyway,
really gonna try me like that?
Oh,
All right.
Okay,
Now
man.
we don't let all the Big D jokes go away. We don't let all the Flintstone vitamin jokes go away.
I don't know.
But
Dora
now I
jokes.
guess we got to bring back the D jokes.
Hey.
Now I guess we got to bring back the Dora joke. I guess we got to bring back the mayo too while we at it, right?
Bring them back, baby. Bring them back.
yeah. Listen. Go ahead.
I think Mrs. T, I think we can hear you, man. What's up, dude?
You can't hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you
can
now.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Yeah. What's up? My problem is not my internet. My problem is PC. That's my problem.
Okay.
I'm a Mac dude, and that's why I don't like Mac PCs to begin with. But
It's all good.
yeah,
Hey,
what's
so
up, guys?
let me introduce the chat to you. This is Mrs. T, one of the guys who's been on YouTube for a while now, and I'm glad to have you here, Mrs. T. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good,
Chilling.
doing good.
Great, great. Can't complain.
Good to have you on. We were talking about YouTube and all of this stuff here, so I didn't know if you want to kind of chime in on that in terms of what's going on, or if you're up to date with that. But a lot of people are just kind of talking about losing the verification and the new algorithm and all of that. But before, shout out to Blissfully Anakia. Thank you for the $10 donation. Also, thank you as well to Brian Jedi with the $2 donation. It says problem is YouTube has a monopoly, which I guess technically they do.
When it comes to video sites,
To-
absolutely.
Edited
when
content.
when it comes to a free upload space to upload your video content, yes. When it in terms of getting yourself exposed, no.
Yeah.
They don't have a monopoly. Not at all.
There's Twitch. Twitch can do the same thing YouTube can, just much crappier. Blissfully Anakia, thank you for the $10. He says, you guys are dropping some serious gems. Thank you, Blissfully Anakia. I appreciate that. Also, Naruto Ace 00125 with the host. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. So yeah, Mr. T, what's your thoughts on all this, man, that's going on with this YouTube verified algorithm stuff, man?
I probably missed. Is there something like specifically that just came out that just happened?
Yeah, today.
Yeah, like a lot of people that, like the old criteria to, getting your channel verified. That
Oh,
little
well,
check
I
mark.
mean,
Yeah, like it
I
was
can speak on that.
Yeah.
I've been crying about that for quite some time because I think 2017 I was starting to actually see an uptick. Like I was getting good views. I was, I'm not talking anything crazy, but I was going up as far as subscribers pretty regularly. And then I guess what they call the adpocalypse hit.
Yeah.
And like the whole algorithm thing, everything just changed, and it just basically ruined like any momentum I was gaining. And it doesn't seem to matter how many subscribers you have, as far as like who's gonna watch your videos or how many people are actually gonna watch your videos. And having to have this bell notification thing, it's like, what is the point of having people subscribe if you're not gonna send your content to them?
Bruh.
I can explain
the bell notification only.
Yeah.
I can explain the real answer, but it's as annoying as you think it'd be.
Yeah, it is.
The real answer is because they want something that they know that can keep someone on the platform to move on to another video on YouTube, to move on to another video on YouTube.
Right.
So
Right.
if they realize that people didn't click on your last video within the first hour or 50, especially the first 15 minutes that you uploaded it, they're not going to push that video. Going to think people didn't want to watch it, so they're going to push another video from someone else instead. That's basically how it works. It's whatever can keep people on YouTube longer, watching more. And if your video wasn't one of the videos that did that, they're just going to act like that video really doesn't exist.
So annoying too, because like
It is.
you have your subscribers, right? And I get so many people, because I've been on YouTube for a while, they say, oh, you're still uploading videos, I didn't even know. And I'm like, bruh, I'm gonna choke you and YouTube, like both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna choke both of you guys. All right. So I mean, more
That's why
like
you have to
YouTube.
rely on some other places sometimes. Like that's why I put the video on Twitter or my
Yeah.
Discord. Discord had a problem today. I put out my video at 3 p.m. and luckily my subscribers know that, right? So, but I did the notification and they're all like, "What?" Everyone there was like, "Whoa, I didn't get the notification from Discord. What is going on?" Like they all freaked out, and I was like, Discord's not even sending out notifications. What is going on? Just let people see our stuff.
Yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough. Like I said, like 50, and I'll let you, my bad, Evan. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
50-something thousand subscribers on my channel here, man. And I swear to you, like literally, like none of them, if they got a notification, they would watch. Back in like 2017, like Mr. T was talking about, things were going. I was getting way more views back then than I am now, with way more subscribers. So that's how you know something's broken. Like, I had like 20,000 or 30,000 subscribers or whatever, like 2 years ago, and I was getting way more views back then than I am now. So you know something's broken with it. Notifications actually worked back then. They actually worked. Now they're not working. So even if you do whatever, you do the whole upload limit thing that you try to make sure that there's not that, it still doesn't work. So yeah, man. But whatever, screw it. I've changed up things enough to where it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like doing all the other stuff that you guys were talking about in terms of diversifying yourself. Like I said, I do way more editing locally now. And Jordan, you got me into doing stuff like that, like getting contracts locally. It's boring as hell, and I'm editing wedding videos and with some surprises every now and then.
But you get to hone your craft a little bit more.
Yeah.
You get to make sure that you have an agreed upon income, basically. So
yeah. I get very few people bailing on me when it comes. I mean, a little bit, but it's like, I mean,
that's why you get a contract signed.
But I do. I mean, I say, hey, I need 25%, up front, and some people like might not show up to give me the 25, but like that's fine. I mean, if I lose that, okay, whatever. I lost $200 or whatever the case is for this thing that's gonna take me a couple days. So it's no biggie. Except like the big contracts, like everybody always shows up. It's like, okay, hey, this is gonna be big. It's gonna take about a week for me to do this. Like they always show up because it's like, I'm pretty much like one of the only. That's another thing. I'm like one of the only people that edits in town like this. Like. So which
that's a monopoly. So you basically point taken.
It's just that
this is own monopoly in his own town.
We don't have a big tech industry here though, or anything like that. Most people here, it's like farming and like livestock and shit. So it's just or like cow stuff, or I don't know, like milk and like dairy and farms and stuff. So it's not a big deal. But hey, it is what it is. I mean,
look into that myself.
Yeah. Avalon, I know you wanted to say something. I think I cut you off, man. What were you gonna say?
Nah, I was just gonna disagree. It's just like, kind of what you're saying. It's you gotta really, and David Drake said it in the chat. He said your skill set is more dependable than YouTube. It really is. It's like what you're skilled in. If you hone that craft, that's valuable. Like you can even take that over to other platforms like Fiverr if you want to make some money. Like if you're talking about YouTube to make money, it's like Jordan said, it's okay. It's an okay place to make money. It's chump change. But waiting 30 days to get paid, not in my book. Not at all in my book. And to wait 30 days to get paid. And secondly, that's why I'm like I said, I'm rebranding, the channel, kind of like what Jordan did. It's more so, okay, you know what? I have over 15 years of experience doing music. What am I going to do with that? So that's why I said, let me go ahead and and that's why I'm not only just doing remixes anymore. I said, I'm gonna let it be a surprise when it comes out, but I want to do more valuable stuff and have more valuable content for everybody. So that's what, if anyone who is discouraged, don't be discouraged listening to us, guys. As Jordan said, it's do what you love. Because if you do what you love, it's going to be valuable to the people who are listening. And that could probably help somebody else, who's probably following your footsteps.
Yeah. And technically it's also 60 days to get really paid. Because you have 30 days once you get it rolling, right? But it's whatever I make this month in September, I don't get paid till the end of October what I made this month. So it's not like I front this started, and like if I started September, at the end of September, I get paid for those 30 days. I'm getting paid for August at that point.
Right, you're right.
So it's technically an extra month for you get that real money. So it's
60 to 30.
It does suck. It'd be much nicer if they ruled out, like I know Twitch has a newer system that's nice, that you can, if you make enough on there, you can get it every 15 days, which is nicer. But yeah, it's 30 to 60 technically. Yeah. But take it as a hobby. Don't worry about the money.
Hobby first.
I was gonna say, why do you YouTuber guys keep complaining about money?
Dude, when I first started doing YouTube, man, I didn't even know you could make money. When I first started doing YouTube, I was just like, well, I like Xenoblade. I like Nintendo, and I've been playing games for 15 years plus. And I know what I'm talking about. That's literally what I said on one of my first videos or something.
OJ's probably the only person. OJ, you're probably the only person on this cast to know I was working 10 times harder when I wasn't getting paid.
Yeah.
I was having videos uploaded like 5 times a week. So
I was doing gaming news back then, but my gaming news videos were so funny. They're at my mom's old house, and it was just like me, like I'd go like do a workout and come back and literally I'm in my workout clothes doing a video.
For April Fools, you should upload one of those old videos.
I should, dude.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
With my freaking mohawk back in the day, dude, like 10 years ago. That'd be great, man. So like, yeah, man, I just did it just because I thought it was fun. Like I was like, hey, what's all this new stuff people are talking about YouTube? Because back then, YouTube was only 5 years old. Like when I first started, like my first video, like 2010, YouTube was only 5 years old at that time. It started in 2005, and it started out as a dating site or something like that, or it was originally going to be like that. So it wasn't even
originally going to be a different site, and then then something else happened.
Yeah, then something else happened.
Then we can do a whole video sharing platform.
Yeah, so it was just interesting. So I just thought it was cool. I didn't know how to edit. I had a MacBook in college. I just used this like the MacBook editing software. Videos were horrible quality. Like the gameplay videos, horrible, but it was fun. It took
Everyone
forever.
back then was all the same thing.
Yeah, it was all crappy.
It's part
it was
of the process.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there's a lot of people think that if you're starting YouTube, you need to have the best camera, the best audio.
No.
That's not how you have to work with the process. You invest in yourself over time. Obviously, you want better audio, better quality. But let me tell you this: you have any kind of phone that's current within the last 5 years, you have an HD and/or 4K phone that has pretty decent audio. Like you're good to go off that already. You don't need the world's best editing skills as long as you just know how to cut and trim. That's really all you really need to just start off with stuff. You don't need to be fancy. I think people want to get like these huge, ridiculous intros, and you don't need any of that. You just need to be yourself on YouTube. Like that's really all it is. And maybe you'll find passion in learning how to edit, or finding passion in your video quality, and then that's what you want to focus on later on and save up and get newer cameras or audio equipment. But that's all part of the starting process. When you start YouTube, you're not supposed to come out of the gate swinging. You're supposed to come out of the gate going, all right, this is a fresh new. It's like an RPG. You start it up, you got nothing, right?
Level up.
As you go on your journey, you level up. You collect things, you learn new skills, you acquire new friends and teammates. It's all a part of the process. It all comes together. So don't think that, oh, I only have like 2 subscribers and I get like 1 view a video. That's all part of it. We all start off with 0 subscribers, all the same. It's not like some people just start off like, oh, I'm gonna hit upload on YouTube, boom, now I have 10,000 subs instantly. I mean, some people get really lucky and their video goes viral, and there you go. But
it's a marathon,
one in a million. So
it's a marathon. It's like literally, it's you really got to look at YouTube kind of like, oh, do you want to get that?
Yeah, shout outs to Christian. Thank you, man, for the freaking big old $50 donation. Just sauce. I was like, what? The $50 donation that he says, time for some punch. Hello, squad, and Abaddon. Yo, shout outs to my boy Christian.
What's up, man?
Super contributor. Thank you so much, Christian. Yo, get ready for some Splatty 2 tomorrow, Christian, baby. I'm ready for your blubber. I'm actually not, but thank you for the this dude is ridiculously good at Splatoon 2. Like really good at Splatoon 2. Like one of the best Splatoon players that I've ever seen, man. He's really good. Anyway,
he is.
Have you ever played against him in his blobber, dude? His freaking blobber, man.
I got whooped.
Yeah. When I'm on his team, I'm like good. But yeah, man. Thank you, Christian, for the $50 donation. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Also, Josiah Buck with the $5 new super chat. Thank you. Matthew Hammond also with the stupid comment. Thank you for the $1.99. He says OJ, the Big D explorer, and his search for mayo. I guess that's like a. I don't know.
It's a movie. It's a movie title. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's
Golly, damn, bro.
That nobody would go see. Like, nobody would go see. But I wanted to get Abaddon, you can finish up. Then I wanted to get Baron's take on this whole YouTube stuff, man.
Let Baron go ahead. It's because I said enough. Okay. Go ahead, Baron.
Baron, got any thoughts on this, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
It sucks.
Is that it?
Finally, keeps it nice and
Nice and
together.
nice and clean, man. Nice and clean there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, everything has been said already. There's nothing else to be said.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Just keep
I talked
basically
for too long. I'm sorry.
no, you're actually fine. The moral of the day, guys, is keep grinding. Do what you want to do. Like do what you want to do. Like if you love it, just do that. That should be the reason why. If something goes popping, then it goes popping. If it doesn't, then you'll live to survive another day. You can do whatever the case is. Get your education or get your trade skills, whatever you need to do. You know, I mean, like, even though I did YouTube, I mean, I still got 2 degrees, you know? And if you count my minor, you know, I got 3. So
I'll give some good advice real quick here to anyone who is trying to figure out what to do with YouTube or what they want to do. I'm guessing a lot of people here in the comments are probably all gaming fans and probably want to make or do make videos about gaming stuff, whether it's news or reviews or playing or whatever it may be.
Sorry. Gaming, don't do it. Don't do gaming.
Let me tell you.
I agree with OJ, but I'm gonna follow up with you depending if you hit everything I want to say.
The thing is, you could upload the same thing. Let's say take OJ for example. OJ makes gaming news videos. He covers different topics, and we'll get to in a sec. But let's just generalize it for a second. He makes gaming news videos, right? Now let's say you want to do the same thing, and you start making gaming news videos. No, unfortunately, probably no one is going to watch you because that's such an oversaturated market. There are many large channels that do that. And the reason why OJ is a larger channel that does that is because he covers different things when he talks about the news. He has a different presentation style, different editing, his personality. There are different things that attribute to that. So if you're going to jump into a field that is this heavily crowded, you have to, one, find a way to make it new and your own. And that doesn't mean covering different topics. You could talk about whatever you want, no matter if Spawn talked about it, OJ talked about it, I talked about it, your mother talked about it. Doesn't matter. As long as you do something that's different and that's yours, and you can do it. And the best thing that you have to do, the biggest thing, is that you have to do it the best. You have to make it the best you can absolutely make it. Don't just make something and throw it on there and be like, that's my creation. That's making a pizza. You didn't even make the dough right. You threw some pepperonis on there. You called it a day. That's not what this is about. If this is your hobby, you're making something. Picture your videos pretend millions of people are going to watch it because you put it on the internet for anyone to find, right? Because that's the basis. We all want views. That's the point of uploading to YouTube. So when everyone says, oh, you're just doing it for views, don't listen to that.
Yeah.
Everyone is. That's the point of it.
Yeah.
So when you're crafting this video, this pizza that you want to deliver to your audience, right? You want to make sure that it's the best tasting. You want to make sure that it is literally cut perfectly. It's looking good because you care about it. And it also, what's going to separate it, instead of going, oh, I can go to Domino's, why am I going to go to you? Because you add something different. You have a little extra flavor, a little extra ingredient that makes something different. That's why in my Pokemon videos, I could sit there and just open Pokemon cards all day. But I try to now, as much as I can, make the videos as fun as possible. I do a lot of stuff with editing. I'll add a lot more jokes. I'm just being me and saying my own weird, quirky things because I think they're funny and doing what I'm wanting to do. And that's why I feel that my channel is on an upswing again since I started putting a lot more passion into what I'm doing. And you can attribute that to a lot of success for a lot of people. People in the chat are saying, look at Scott the Waz. He just blew up out of nowhere. No, last year he did because but he was hitting that content right. Like he
and consistently.
You look 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he was very small channel doing his stuff and, was getting some views and it was still good. But look how it evolved. Look how the editing changed. Look at all the stuff he does now compared to then. Look at how much he did. He covered trending topics without just jumping on a bandwagon. He had something to
YouTube
say, and that's what brought him. YouTube helped him because people wanted to watch him.
Exactly.
Because he made something that someone said, hey, did you see that Scott the Watt? Did you see what this guy did? Have you seen this channel? Then YouTube was like, oh, this pocket of people watched his content. Let's share it to this pocket of people. Oh, okay, they watched it. Okay, now let's share it on everyone's videos. And then that's how it grew.
But every time I watch a video,
it recommends you one to two
not
more.
Not even that. Like I'll be watching something completely different. All my default next video is a Scott the Waz video. Why is that?
That's because he has high watch rate and the algorithm is liking him. And what it's also saying is that people in your bracket of what you watch on YouTube watch similar things. And so it's assuming that you should watch this. And it's been funny to me. I get Scott the Waz recommendations all the time, and half of them are videos I've already watched. And
Exactly.
like, oh, that's it. But that's the, you know, as someone who's on YouTube, I don't use like click the next or, you know, up next or anything like that. I go back to my subscription page because I know how to actually use that. Unlike YouTube thinks that people don't know how to use the subscription page. I do. The recommended tab, like that's how I find a lot of the stuff or watch my content that I'm subscribed to. So I'm trying to always be there for it. But that's just some advice for how the system works and how you should treat your content. Go into it making sure you're making something that's unique to you. It doesn't matter if so-and-so talked about it before. Just make it yours.
Mr. T likes what you're saying. Like, I think he's smiling at what you're saying right now.
No,
I don't know what's up with my camera, man. It's bugging. It's got to be a driver or something, which I said,
I want to add to the advice that Jordan said, because also Jordan's absolutely right. Do something that you love. Do something that's unique and be the best at it. But if you're going to go in the intent, now, if you're going in the intent that you want to make something big of this, don't slack on your research. Like, research, you know, the niche that you're going into and see what can you provide of value that is unique to what you're doing. So whether it's intrinsic, whether it's educational, or whether it's entertainment value, you got to make sure that it's going to be valuable for the person that's watching, because you're asking for the most valuable thing from a person. That's their time. So that's why you gotta take some time to say, you know what, how am I gonna make the first minute or the first 30 seconds of this video, like the elevator speech we all know about doing job interviews. How am I gonna make
screw that up. let me just say that right now. The elevator can screw off.
Listen, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like, listen, I'm gonna tell you guys one thing. Ever since I had to do sales, on ground, business to business, go door to door from each business to business, I've never failed a job interview ever again. It's like you got to learn how to be just open and direct to talk to people. And that's one thing about YouTube that I've noticed, that what makes a lot of channels grow is your ability just to put yourself out there at a drop of a hat and be organic and be yourself. And that's what Jordan is really hammering on. If no one's catching it, is really put yourself out there. Not yourself that you want everybody to see, yourself that nobody sees. The you that kind of goes wild when you're playing video games and you kind of like have your own like rage moments. That's what needs to be seen. You need to do something.
Look at Baron. Like, he's exactly. Baron, you are unapologetically yourself, and that's what makes you. You don't care if I say, oh, what about this Pokemon? You're stuck on it. Listen, I'm on that flat grass stance, so this is that. And I'm angry about Death Stranding. You stick to a point. You're not fake, and you go into what you believe to be your truth, and that is what makes you special and you different than the other people who are ranting about similar things.
But speaking of going into, Sony's also going to be going into a
yes,
I had one more thing to say before that transition.
Oh, Lord.
Transition.
That was a good transition.
Okay.
I just had one more thing to say, but that was a 10. All right, I'll give you a 10 on that one. Does that make you happy?
Right,
that was a 10.
Go ahead and say what you were going to say, though.
I just wanted to say, I'm sorry, we've been talking about this for so long, but the biggest thing you can't forget is the community. If you're building up your channel, you're nothing without your people who watch you, who like, who comment, who are maybe on your Twitter or Discord, who actively care about you and support your content. Being in the comments, being in a Discord, replying on Twitter, hitting like, it's simple things that you can do to show that you care and you can interact with them. I know it's going to come to a point where I can't keep up with every comment, but the last few weeks, I literally, every single comment I get, I'm either hearting or replying to if it's needed, or saying thank you. And this is also on Instagram. This is also on Twitter. And you need to have this community. And one thing the term I hate is fans. I don't consider the people who watch me as fans. I consider them supporters, viewers, any other name that doesn't sound as derogatory as fans. Oh, these are my fans. These are my, like, it sounds like I'm like, oh, they're my follow. Like, oh, that's the term that I'm uncomfortable with. If you use it, that's fine. I'm uncomfortable with it. So I view everyone as someone who's supporting me. Exactly. Like, I have the Fringe fam.
I got the Chill Squad.
Ninja. You got the Chill Squad. Like, everyone has something, and if you can make it inclusive and have people in there and interact with them and show them that you're not just in this to be this messiah on a channel who doesn't interact and it's just you better watch my stuff and I'm not going to reply back, like, you need to be a part of it. So that's just something I want to throw out there as well. I think a lot of people kind of forget that as they grow. I've seen a lot of people do it, and without them, you're not where you're at.
100%.
So it's super important to make
Can't
sure
be dancing. I think one of my problems is I started dancing, man. It's like, when stuff started going down, where it was like I was losing subscribers. I mean, I lost like 120 subscribers within like a 2-month span during that whole changeover.
Sometimes they get rid of dead channel. Like, they'll just
you get dead subs, or if it's
but the thing is, I didn't move after that. Something definitely happened. Something was wrong, and something was changed, and I didn't move after that for like a year. So it was just a weird thing. But the thing is, I started dancing. I was like, oh, well, maybe I need to start doing these type of videos, or maybe I need to start doing this type of videos. You can't do that either. Don't do that.
No, you need to do your type of videos.
Your audience that you've been building is like, well, what is he doing now? Like, I don't know if I want to go here. And they start losing interest.
I also want to reply to this. Someone said, I'm a fan of Baron. Does that mean I'm bad? No, it is not bad to be a fan. I am a fan. I am a fan of many people. I just don't like to consider people who watch me my fans. I don't like to say, oh, I have fans, but it's 100% to be a fan of something or someone. I'm 100% a fan of everyone here on this cast. I'm a fan of people in this chat. I'm a fan of celebrities. I'm a fan of other YouTubers. I am a fan of other people. I just can't personally consider that I have fans. It's a word that I connotate with I'm better. Like, I don't like that term, but I have 100%. I'm a fan of music, a fan of bands. Like, you could be a fan. I just don't like the term having fans. That's what I meant to explain. Sorry if I explained that wrong.
And
speaking of elbows getting chopped off, we might be getting some more information at the next State of Play from Sony, which we have a date for that. What we're going to get into. I know Baron's really looking forward to this, so I'm definitely going to let Baron talk first on this one. They finally have a game to talk about.
They might have a few games to talk about.
They might have two.
Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is going to be probably.
I don't know if we're going that far.
Ghost of Tsushima is going to be there. Maybe we have The Last of Us Part 2.
That is 100% there.
That's pretty much going to be. There's a media event for that
confirmed.
Too. So that's. I think it's going to be the 24th. So next Tuesday. Is that Tuesday?
The 24th?
Yeah,
what
24th.
day?
September 24th.
That's next Wednesday.
No, the 24th.
That's Tuesday, man.
That's Tuesday. Yeah, right, Tuesday. I don't say it's the 18th. My bad. Calm down.
I'm
just saying this. I was talking to Barry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Tuesday. So I wanted to get Baron's thoughts on this because Baron's a big Sony fan, actually. I know Baron's one of the biggest Sony fans on the platform here. So I wanted to get your thoughts on this, Baron. What are your thoughts on State of Play? Are you hyped for State of Play? I know you're hyped, right? Are you hyped for it? What are you thinking about this, man?
All I gotta really say is, what's really going on with this? So
State of Play.
There's a little bit of confusion. Now they announced that Last of Us 2 media event, right?
Yeah.
And now people are claiming that it's two separate events.
It is, I think.
Why the hell would you do that?
Because Last of Us Part 2 needs more. It needs more shine. So, for example, it's very similar.
Is it really two separate events?
Yeah, it's two separate.
Yes, it's two separate events.
I thought they were both on the 24th.
Well, they are. But State of Play and this whole media event is going to be like, it's almost. I think it's going to be like.
Do you think it's just going to lead into it?
Yeah,
like it's going to be like, okay,
like how
Nintendo,
we're talking about Sony here, we don't know.
Yeah, like kind of like how Nintendo did with the Smash Brothers. Where
that's what I'm going to say. Nintendo did the same exact things.
They do that. They do that.
Yeah. So Baron, go ahead.
I don't know. I just think it should have just all been under the State of Play umbrella. I don't see the point in naming it anything different. Because I say that because State of Play has been absolute trash ever since it came out. So it's like, why not put that under the State of Play umbrella? It doesn't make any sense why they did that. Because you still say it's The Last of Us, but still. But I don't expect much out of it. They already said they're not going to talk about PS5, so if you're not going to talk about PS5, I mean, it ain't really much for you to talk about. I hope to God they don't show that trash ass what was it, Predator game? Oh, Lord have mercy, that was garbage. And Last of Us 2 is being shown in a separate event, so what can they show for 20 minutes? What they gonna show you? 15 minutes of Medieval? We already seen Death Stranding.
They're gonna.
We don't want to see that.
They're gonna show us Death
We don't want to see that.
No, they're
We
gonna.
don't want to see that boring
Stranding.
shit again
because
like,
it wasn't
come
in
on.
English. It wasn't in English.
Oh, really? We have to live through that boredom again?
Yes.
Good God. This is probably going to be worse than the last State of Play because there's nothing to show. They talking about, we got new game announcement. Bruh.
Yeah.
They setting yourself up for failure. Yeah, Tokyo Game Show. If you want to call that a game, but at this point, I don't know. I just really don't know. Like, I will be watching it live. I will be doing a live reaction. Yes, I will watch. I will be watching both events live. You know what I mean? Because I like to see what they're going to do because PlayStation has been in a rut, and I just can't see them just continuing to let this go down like this. Like, you got to do something, right? That's what I got to say about it. But I don't expect much out of it.
Okay. Well, whoever wants to take a stab at this one next can go ahead. Anybody excited for State of Play? You guys aren't excited for this? Come on.
Nobody's
All right,
excited
so
for that.
it's been real, guys. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
No, nobody's excited. Jordan, you're not excited?
What is it to
I'm
be
excited
excited
for
about,
Last of Us.
OJ?
What is?
There's
I
nothing
want
to be
Last of Us
excited
2.
about.
I'm excited for that. Last of Us 2.
But it's not on State of Play.
Same day, regardless. Dude.
It's
I'm
like-
excited for it. And what? You telling me you were not excited for the Iron Man VR game last time or the time before?
Yo,
Whenever I showed that off?
Santiago 316 said it the best. State of sleep. That's exactly what it is.
And I'm trying to tell you, boy, I'm laying the wood to the PS4 fan base that day. I'm definitely laying the wood.
What happens if it's good, dude? You're gonna be in
Yeah.
trouble.
How can it possibly be good?
If The Last of Us Part 2, they show like a banger trailer, then it leads
No.
into
What if they
We
come out
already
with
know.
like State of
I know
Play
Last
with
of
like
Us 2 is
15
going-
new games? What if they come out 15 new games and all this stuff?
What
Because
they
you'd be like,
suddenly
Sony
became Microsoft?
Like, we got 15
Listen.
games.
Listen. Saying if the State of Play is actually good is like saying if the Browns actually won a game, bro.
But they did win a game.
Whoa, the Browns won a game.
Not the
They did
Browns.
win a game.
Like how many games? How often? And you see, and who remembers that? How was that a good highlighted event?
They went
Was that a
just
good
won
highlighted event?
79 last year, didn't they?
How about the Giants? My Giants.
Yeah, your Giants.
I don't want to talk to you no more. I don't like the Giants, man. I don't want to talk to you no more.
Your Giants aren't looking so good.
Yeah,
starting
they
to
ain't winning this week either.
Nope. But the good thing is that I'm also a Bucks fan. That's my adopted team, so I win either way.
Well, the Niners gave you guys a 1-2 a couple weeks ago, but you know.
Yeah, they did. They put the wood to us. Yeah.
Oh, here you go. Talking about the Niners.
1-2. This man Bear insists says Niners could be the scariest team in the NFL, and he says, "Here you go, talking about the Niners." This man just
Listen, hold on, wait a minute.
Well, Niners one of the best teams in the NFL. Here you go.
OJ. What I always say, man, I speak the gospel. I'm only going to tell it how I see it.
Okay.
Oh,
You
know what I mean?
sorry.
I'm gonna
don't
tell
want-
her how I
I don't
see
want us
it,
to
man.
deviate too much into the Bear
And that's
sports
why
class.
you were
Yeah.
you.
Jordan going to scream in a minute because we're talking about football. That's how uninterested we are.
I'm in a
We
really
don't
good
care
mood
about
right
State
now,
of
man.
Play.
I'm in a
Listen.
good mood. We're having a good cast. I'm chilling. You can talk about your sports.
State of Play is so boring. State of Play is so boring. I deviated a little bit, but I mean, like, listen, T, you got anything to say about State of Play? Anybody else got anything to say?
No.
Listen,
talk
baby,
about
that's
I
how it
heard
should be
the
written.
Patriots are winning.
Yes, we are.
This man
That's all.
said we.
That's all. I know this. I know a sports fact. Ready?
Yeah,
This is the 100th year of football.
it is.
Sports fact.
It is.
And did you guys know that Ninja was actually part of that commercial for the NFL 100?
No.
Did you guys know that? He was like the waiter at like the little thing.
Dude, he's already transcended past all this stuff. Now he's an actor.
Yeah, he was the
That's
waiter
Microsoft money.
in that.
And this is how exciting
in
State
that
of Play
video.
is.
So,
We really don't care about State of Play.
we really don't.
Yeah, it's really kind of putting us to sleep. So why don't we talk about being awake? Let's have an awakening. Let's talk about a game that comes out tomorrow.
okay, that's nice.
That was a good
Nice. That was nice. Very nice. Very nice.
I like that. I like that. That was dope.
Yeah. Link's
OJ before. Oh, never mind. We already.
I was thinking about Fire
That was a good
Emblem instead
transition.
of Zelda, but yeah.
There's too many awakenings at this point.
Well, there's too many.
There's too
many
but,
Nintendo awakenings.
Yeah, but Fire Emblem came out 6 years ago or whatever. Awakening came out 6 years ago. So we're talking about the new Awakening here. Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening reviews have came out. Very interesting game because when you look at it and just like, hey, this is a remake of a game that we've already played. But from what I understand, and I think maybe Mr. T probably know, you're a big old school guy too. Mr. T, this is the first time this game has ever been re-released in any capacity at all. Is that true?
No, not at all.
I thought it was
Game Boy Color. Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color, and if you were an ambassador for 3DS, you got it for free.
Okay.
On your 3DS
with the extra dungeon.
Yeah. What?
Game Boy Color doesn't count.
It does.
Game Boy Color. You had an extra dungeon on Game Boy Color.
Okay. Yeah, that's like a whole new game.
Yeah.
It's not.
And not only that, the Game Boy Color, because that was for Oracle Seasons and Ages, which is the sequel to that game, so definitely does count.
I'm just saying it was both on the Game Boy. You know what I'm saying? It's both on the Game Boy. This is the first time it's been. Yeah. I mean, I think the other one you said that was on the 3DS as the ambassador thing.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't really count because you had to be an ambassador to get that game. I don't think there's any other way to get it on 3D unless you were an ambassador.
Well, everybody should have been an ambassador. Who wasn't an ambassador in this chat?
Well, the people who weren't ambassadors were the people who didn't want to pay the outrageous price when it came out. And
it wasn't outrageous. It was perfectly priced.
It was quite a bit for a handheld.
I don't remember. It was what, 300?
$250.
Yeah. I think it was worth it. I just think the software wasn't there. If its software was there,
what? You didn't like the software, man?
You had Dead or Alive and Street Fighter.
Let's go on a whole spiel about which game saved the 3DS.
We have like Pilot Wings Resort.
You had Dead or Alive. You had
Street Fighter 4. Yeah.
You had the Mercenaries Resident Evil game, which was
Steel
really
Diver. Don't forget about Steel Diver.
Steel Diver.
No, he said the first few months of
Steel Diver.
Hold on, don't forget OJ's favorite game, 3D Land.
You know, like this is a 3D. This is a game you need to have a 3DS for. None of those games did it. It didn't really happen until what?
That fall.
It didn't happen until 3D Land.
3D Land, right?
3D Land, Mario Kart.
That's what got the ball.
Here we go.
Kingdom Hearts 3 Drop Distance. Those
here we go again with this bullshit.
I don't know how it's bull. We've already looked at the stats.
Oh, man. Hold on, let me pull up these sales numbers again.
Oh, no, here we
because
go.
We're in denial again.
Here we go. We're deny 3D.
Here we go. So let me pull this up one more time. Because we keep going over this and we keep talking about this nonsense. But I want to remind you what sold more than 3D Land on the 3DS. Because you don't seem to remember. So
I do remember. I know. I'm the one who said the numbers last time, dude. You're the one who was shocked. Oh, 3D Land sold that much.
3D Land is disgusting.
This dude was shook when I told him the numbers.
I wasn't shook. I wasn't shook at all. Shook. It was like the sixth best selling game. No, what was crazy if you talking about 3D Land say 3DS when it absolutely wasn't 3D Land.
No, you were shook, bro. You were shook once. Your mom did. You were shook. He's like, oh.
We got the recording. We got the recording. So
I know we got the recording. This man was
like the black version of the Japanese Nani. He's like, Nani? What?
No, I'm not saying he was. Like, I mean, we can just watch recording to see. I don't remember.
Was he didn't know 3D Land gave him that one too. He didn't know. Stop lying, bro. Stop lying, man. You were shook a little bit, right? So you gonna say the numbers are not, Baron? Let's hear it.
They're not coming up for some damn reason. I don't know where I found them last time.
That was the game. Like the 3D on that game was like, yeah, this is why you want to play games.
The best 3D was still Resident Evil, man. Still Resident Evil.
It was
Revelations,
good.
Hands down, was better.
I don't know if Revelations takes the cake.
3D Land.
On the 3D effect, definitely Revelations, bro.
Well, Revelations was like
I think 3D Land did some better stuff than Revelations.
The 3D effect in Revelations.
Revelation and Dark Moon had the best 3D effect.
Revelation had depth, man.
But it didn't like, it wasn't like part of the gameplay the way it was in 3D, 3D Land. Like the 3D was like actually a part of the gameplay. Like it helped you.
You could probably that's a good point.
But that's the Mario and
the
Luigi
sheer immersion of 3D. You got to give that to Revelations in Darkness.
Revelations.
I can see that.
I'm not saying it's bad at all by any means. I think it's great. I just think,
and I don't want to underestimate 3D effect, and also in Street Fighter. For 3DS. That was really good.
It was
too.
Not needed though at all.
I mean, it made the game.
3D is not needed in general.
Yeah, but that was the most not needed. And your battery playing Street Fighter online with 3D on, your battery would be cooked like 20 minutes.
I always play with
gone.
I always played with 3D on.
3D on Wi-Fi Street Fighter. You'll play.
Put it in the charger as you're playing.
Yeah, you put it in the charger, maybe.
3 Hadoukens. And you
get a match and a half in.
Three Hadoukens and you're done.
Yeah, dude. That battery was. I've never seen my battery drain so fast than playing Street Fighter online with 3D on and the Wi-Fi, because the Wi-Fi on also drain your battery like crazy too.
Yeah,
with those launch models, So yeah, man. I want to get a donation right out here. Ethan R donated $1.99 through Super Chat. It says OJ's trash at splatting and bye, y'all. Okay. Thank you, Ethan R. Our favorite member
here first.
Our favorite YouTube user here, Elite Ninja here in the chat. Thank you, Ethan. Also, Christian with another 10. Thank you so much, Christian. Thank you for using Streamlabs as well. He says, I already got my copy. I'm sure you've seen it. Yeah, Christian, he posted it on, or I think you said something about it on Link's Awakening. So getting excited for Link's Awakening, Christian is, and I think a lot of us here are all pretty much going to get Link's Awakening for the most part. So
already got it loaded up.
You got $10 discount at Wally Mart.
Streamlabs money. That's what's up.
Yeah, Streamlabs. Shout outs, Christian. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. All right, so let's get into. I guess we were talking about Link's Awakening, right? Like
yes,
in
sir.
terms of, like the review scores. 88 Metacritic right now. I'm not sure if it went up. But there was I think 70 something reviews or something like that on the channel. Thank you, David. I'll get that in. I'll read out the message in just a bit. 88 on Metacritic. So one of the best reviewed games of the year. And Nintendo's summer has been absolutely epic. We've got crazy summer, which I said was gonna happen, and I had people freaking telling me calling me names and saying stuff. I was like, all right, fine, that's fine. When the summer's ended, we'll revisit this topic. So I know that's what I'm gonna be editing tonight. But really good scores for Link's Awakening. Were any of you guys surprised with the scores? I mean, I know I wasn't, but were any of you guys what were you guys thinking about this? What were your thoughts?
So Link's surprised.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised with Fire. I'm not surprised with Fire Emblem. Let's see. There's Fire Emblem, Mario Maker. There's Astral Chain and Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening. I'm not gonna say I'm surprised, but it's just good to see. You know, you can say, "Oh, 88, okay," but it's it's not surprising. So it's all about. It's a solid summer. That's all I gotta say. You don't really see too many other platforms having a solid summer like this.
I actually am surprised.
Wait, when does fall start? What's the first?
A couple days.
Yeah, end of September. Here,
2 days from now, I think it's the 21st, 22nd. That's the solstice.
Yep. I'm done because this is a landmark game, and
this is the last game of the summer.
Original release doesn't have a Metacritic score. Nobody reviewed it. They didn't even go back and grab all the Game Pro scores and all that and aggregate it.
You be the first. You determine if that's 100% or a 0.
That's crazy. They need to go back and grab all that stuff. It's public information. They can go back and pull it and add it, but nobody at Metacritic decided to go pull it.
I don't think it's necessary.
Well, I gave it a 10 out of 10 back in 90. What was 92?
Gosh, I would have gave it 11 out of 10. That was my game, man.
That was my game too. That was my first Zelda game.
Way better than Link to the Past to me.
I hated that game. I did not like it as a kid.
This is my favorite. This is definitely my favorite one. As a kid,
and it took things that you expected from, if you had already played Link to the Past, it knew that you had played Link to the Past, and
it really did. And I played this, then I played Ocarina of Time, then I played Majora's Mask. And even though Majora's Mask is my favorite one, the handheld wise, Link's Awakening is definitely my favorite top one out of all of them. But handheld.
I'm about to say, for you graphics whores, I talked to one of the writers at Digital Foundry and let him know straight up, hey, y'all should really be, if y'all talking about technical achievements, y'all should be talking about the intro to Link's Awakening because it's technically impossible. They literally hacked the registers and did interrupts to make that opening scene because all that layering of all the animation and stuff that's there, it's not possible with that Z80 processor. It isn't. So they literally had to interrupt code again, like every other frame, and get the timing right to create the animation for that intro on the original green Game Boy. It's some amazing shit. If you just go and look at it and you're like, that isn't even possible on the NES. No flicker at all. It's not possible.
But like the Game Boy seemed to be like a miracle system because it was so freaking weak. Yet when you played the games, you're like, how does this
games are amazing?
You know, like these games are actually dope, but this system is like literally like you could make a system that was stronger yourself, you know, and I'm exaggerating obviously, but I'm just saying like it was crazy the type of games that they were able to put out on there compared to like stronger systems that came out, handheld systems, and you're like, man, these games kind of suck. You know, like back in the day.
Developers knew assembly and they knew how to write to the metal real good back then. They don't anymore now. Everything's so high level that nobody even tries anymore.
I mean, look at Super Mario Land 1 versus Super Mario Land 2. Like the graphical difference in those two games. Yeah. It's like night and day. Like they really picked up that hardware and started doing some crazy stuff with it.
Yeah. Did you anybody play Wario Land? Which was Super Mario Land?
Wario Land, yeah.
That was
I actually did.
And Wario was a huge sprite in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy stuff, man.
Did they call that one Super Mario Land 3 Wario?
Yeah, that's exactly what they called it.
And coin sprites everywhere. Like, it shouldn't be possible.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Super Mario Land 1 was what got on my nerves as a kid. I hated that game.
Who didn't get their nerves like tested playing that game?
Well, everybody expected it to be Super Mario, so it was
different. That's the one where you Baby Yoshi?
No.
Where you had to go rescue
Game Boy Mario.
The Sphinxes.
Oh yeah.
Easter Island heads,
submarine levels, and all that stuff.
I don't know.
Hated that game growing up.
Super Mario World 2. I thought you guys. I was like, that game was dope. People hated Baby like them crying, but that game was freaking
if it went
amazing.
for those games,
it was annoying. It wasn't crazy. It was just.
I love those games.
You need those games because Hayam Daisy happened after that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm playing Mario World on Super NES. Playing that with other friends, that's actually fun. That's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. So I'm like, kudos to Nintendo finally bringing Super NES games back over. Yeah.
Well, everyone's excited for Link's Awakening. Looks like it's going to do really well. I'm looking forward to playing it. Like I said, I played the original back in the day, but I didn't like it and I never beat it. So I'm just going to be my first time kind of going through playing. People really like for some reason, people really like when I play Zelda games, even though I'm horrible at them for the most part, because like I'd be streaming like Breath of the Wild like a year or plus afterwards. I had like 200 something people in there watching me play Breath of the Wild. So I'm playing. So therefore, I'm a Zelda streamer now. I'm playing Zelda.
You're probably gonna be blown away if you never played the original game and then you play the remake, because I'm pretty sure
it's even also John plays the same is better than the original.
They probably added a lot of fan service to it. You're probably blown away.
Oh yeah, from what I've seen, it looks amazing. It looks like I'm going to have fun this time, and I'm going to be talking to the chat. It's going to be casual. You know, I'm just going to casually play the game. I'm not trying to be like greatest Zelda person, because like I said before, and this has kind of shocked some people. I'm not huge. Like, Zelda's great and I love it, and I've played pretty much every single Zelda game. I've played them all. I don't like them all. I don't even like anywhere near all of them because I don't like puzzles in games. I'm just not a fan of puzzles, and Zelda games have a ton of puzzles in them a lot, and I just don't want to be sitting there solving puzzles. I don't want to be sitting there stuck all day in stuff, and that's what pisses me off about Zelda games sometimes. So
luckily we have YouTube tutorials.
Yeah, now we have
puzzles.
You're gonna hate that game because some of the puzzles exist outside the dungeon too, so you got to do stuff outside to solve stuff inside.
Back in the day, though, there wasn't YouTube, so you can see as a kid, or as younger adult, my frustration with some of Wind Waker was the game that broke through to me. Well, Ocarina of Time, I loved that game, but also Wind Waker was like, Wind Waker, it was open, the puzzles were nowhere near as hard as before, or maybe I'm just older, more intelligent, I don't really know. But that game to me was just because it felt like, oh wow, this is just this big. It felt like an open world game, right? But Zelda, even though it wasn't really like an open world game technically, I guess. But it
depends on when you started, because I was the guy that never had an issue with the water temple in Ocarina of Time, and that's because I spent so much freaking time in Dungeon 5 in Link to the Past. So the ice dungeon, if you will, you had to do so much 3D manipulation, even though it was 2D in that game, as far as like manipulating where you needed to be. So once I played the water dungeon for the first time, I knew exactly what I needed to do, and I was done in
I didn't, but the thing is, like, I was just so blown away. I didn't mind being in that world for that dungeon for forever, because 1998 when that game came out, that game blew my mind. I was just so into just being able to play a game like that.
Link's Awakening?
I didn't have time to be upset.
Wait, you talk DX? You probably playing on DX?
DX, Link's Awakening DX, or you talk about Ocarina of Time?
No, I'm talking about Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time.
I'm talking about the water level.
The water temple.
Yeah.
The water temple didn't have me going, whoa. What had me going, whoa, was meeting Dark Link.
You hated that?
When I was a kid, I was trying to solve. I couldn't solve it, man. And there was no help. There was no YouTube back then. I asked my friend at school. I was like, "Hey, man, there's this part where the water's going up, and I'm going around." And he's like, "Oh yeah, this is what you do." And I'm like, "All right, got it." And I wrote it down, and I was like, "Man, I don't take good notes because I can't." And I got all messed up. I was like, "I don't take good notes. I'm all jacked up here." And then I played it some more, and then I just did some random stuff, and I ended up solving it. And I was like, "Thank God I'm out of this damn water temple." But outside of that, Ocarina of Time was great.
Once you see it, though, you see it. Like,
yeah, you see,
everything.
but I'll
clicks.
tell you this: like,
I did on Master Quest too. I ain't gonna lie.
Even with the guide, like I had the guide. I bought the guide because it was back then. I don't know if they don't really do it anymore, but back then they would give you a discount on the guide if you bought it with the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so I bought it, but I didn't use it until I got to that water temple, and it doesn't really help you at all. The way it's written, like
you gotta be able to see it.
It doesn't really help you. So I had to work my own way through it. So
I remember. Did you guys remember before we kind of move on to some of the other stuff here? Did you guys remember the old game facts back then, where the texts? Does anybody? Did anybody go on those?
I had it for Mortal Kombat 3 and Killer Instinct.
Yeah,
Killer Instinct 2.
Yo, Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, game fact all day.
Yeah,
printing out pages, sitting down in front of your screen, thinking it's gonna help you.
I used to scroll my ghetto, like old school DOS green computers.
Oh man!
Like, oh my gosh, bro! Back in the day, some of y'all kids today, y'all don't understand how it was back then when you were stuck.
Yeah, y'all don't appreciate cheat codes.
Y'all don't know nothing about that game chart. Y'all don't know.
Oh, I know.
That.
Okay.
What do you mean about game chart?
Yeah, I know about game chart.
I'm talking about the chat. I'm talking about the chat.
Okay, the chat.
Game chart, X-Band. You
Game Genie
to play online.
Game Genie.
Game Genie.
Yo, Jaguar.
See that guy on the cover, Game Genie? He was like.
Yep. Hey, I still got that manual.
Dude was like this. He was like.
Now who here had Jaguar? Who here had
Jaguar CD?
Jaguar CD or
I couldn't afford that back then, bro. What you? I ain't got a Jaguar.
Hey man,
I got a Jaguar now.
Listen, Neo Geo.
Listen, guys, I was unfortunate to buy this. Played it once, never played it again. The Ghetto Scouter. Who knows what I'm talking about?
The Ghetto
Scouter.
Ghetto Scouter.
R-Zone.
Oh no, I never played that.
Y'all never played R-Zone growing up?
No. Well, it was on. You said it was on Jaguar?
No, not on Jaguar, but it's like
R-Zone sound like the Toys R Us little trap.
It was basically like a it looks like a legit scouter, and like you had like a mirror where you could see yourself playing the game like this. That was like one of the new handhelds.
No, I never
played that, man. That's crazy.
I feel old now. It came out in '95.
I played Space Giraffe and
I'm like who knows R-Zone in the chat? Come on, I don't know.
Man, you lost me with that one.
Chat.
Is that PC?
You was better off saying Tamagotchi or something.
I remember Tamagotchi.
Gigapets and Tamagotchi.
Still around.
All right, see,
I was playing that Kasumi Ninja though.
I'm not the only one. People in the chat knew. Okay, I'm not the only one.
They'll know about it. I mean, most of the time, the chat, somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I remember this." If the people in the cast don't remember it, so it's all good, man. All right, well, Link's Awakening, bringing back the old school vibes. I love when old school games come back. I'm a big fan of remakes. You know what I'm saying? Like when they remake an old game, especially a game that hasn't been re-released. It's always dope. Like even if they do like for some modern game like Shadow of the Colossus, that's already been re-released, but to have them re-release, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like to have but the way that they did it is really
HD
cool. It's like super HD. Like that Shadow of the Colossus remake's like, wait, is that the same game? Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that was a pretty good remake.
Yeah, that was a pretty good remake. And then we have like Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition coming out, which I'm ready.
You're on Twitter talking about it ain't been upread. Like I'm like, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
What if they have Ico? What if that's one of the secret announcements at Sony? What if they remade Because
would
people
be-
have been asking for that. Once
So-
it did Shadow, they're like, yeah, do Ico.
Yeah.
So
Nope.
I got a question though. Since everybody, since developers are lazy now, they just do remakes. That's what everybody does now. So
Of course.
which games do you want to see remake? And
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger. Those two games would be very-
Everything.
I mean, the one I
said
wanted the
everything.
most came true, and that was Spyro. So
Okay, yeah, you got your Spyro. That's
that
right.
was, I got my Spyro. The Chameleon Twist needs some love.
Yeah, I
we can
know
get a new
Chameleon-
Croc game
I was
up in
about to say,
here.
Chameleon Twist. There you go.
Chameleon Twist.
Get a
Yeah.
Chameleon Twist 3. That'd be great.
There's really only
Fantasy
one
Star
series.
2.
What? Which
Ooh,
one?
Fantasy Star
Fantasy
2.
Star 2.
Second story.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
doubt
so
they do it.
Fantasy Star. Wait, you said Fantasy Star 2? Like the Fantasy
Yes,
Star?
second story, the PS1
Okay.
port.
Uh,
It'd be great to play that without having to swap
Banjo-Kazooie.
this.
Oh, Banjo
Banjo
Kazooie.
Kazooie 1 and 2
Okay.
all day. That's
Yeah.
We need
Banjo
that.
Kazooie? 1 and 2?
because we got Spyro, we got Crash. It only
He
makes
has a point. He has a
we
point.
get a remake of
Oh,
Banjo.
man, yeah, those are good choices, but the number one game on that list should be Conker's Bad Fur Day. That one needs to be remade.
But it already got remade. Well, it got remade. in
It
4K.
kind of got remade. It kind of got remade.
They
Though.
need to remake.
It was kind of a remake.
That
Kinda.
wasn't really a remake at all. It was
Well,
live
I mean,
remake.
It was.
But
I think they went in visually pretty strong with it, but then
Yeah.
they censored the game, which was weird. Which you would think Nintendo would do that, right? That's a Nintendo thing.
Yeah.
But Microsoft censored that game.
I would be
Well,
down
pretty
for a
weirded out by
Skies
that.
of Arcadia remake.
Microsoft published
I'd be
it,
like that.
and the original game on N64, Rare published that. Nintendo didn't even publish
Yeah.
that.
I would be.
They
so-
should-
Rare was like, we're gonna put whatever the fuck we want in here.
I
Remake-
would really want a Skies of Arcadia remake. That'd be actually super
Yeah.
dope.
Oh,
Yeah, Skies of Arcadia would be
guys,
good.
yeah.
You know what? You know what they could remake? Rampage.
The old school Rampage.
Yes, remake Rampage.
I don't know.
That game was
I
fun
don't know
back in
about
the
that
day.
one.
Yeah.
It was fun back in the day. I used to.
I
play
mean,
that.
you give it some new
20
elements. You give it some new elements to match.
They did remake Rampage though on the Wii. I'm pretty sure they remade Rampage on the Wii.
Oh, never mind.
Mr. T.
I'll
they
take
did
it.
do that.
I'll take it
Talking
back
about-
to the dorm room days. Oh, WrestleMania
Trying to-
2000.
There's a Rampage.
remake
There's
that.
definitely
Bruh.
there's a Rampage game on the Wii. I think. Let me double check.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is. I wouldn't count that as a remake.
Am
It's
I
not
the
a-
only one seeing this right now?
What?
What's going on?
I guess I am the only one seeing it.
Seeing what?
Yeah, it's called Rampage. Rampage Total Destruction.
The Total Destruction.
Yeah, it's in
Oh,
Game
wait.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
yeah, I remember.
They did do it. Huh?
and I think it's like a remake, but it's like a light remake of the game.
Yeah, it wasn't like a crazy revamp of the visual style.
But it was like the same thing because Rampage
Yeah.
doesn't really have like a real story. Or, I mean, it does, but it doesn't. And but it was like the same style. Like you just sit there and you punch buildings. They added more multiplayer. I think 4 players. But yeah, I'm actually watching it right here. I think there was another. There might have been another one, but either way, there is. If you want to play a newer age Rampage, it is.
Yeah, I
out
mean,
there.
but Rampage is not very meaty. It's like saying, "Oh, I want a remake of Altered Beast." Not really. I mean, the gameplay in that is pretty,
Shinobi,
varied.
though.
It's not like
Shinobi
Totally.
Return. Which one though?
I would like a
Shadow
new.
Dash.
I would like a new Shinobi, like a brand new Shinobi game. I think that'd be dope.
The way you want to do Shinobi, I want a new Fantasy Star. Like, give us Fantasy Star 5. Finally.
Take 10 years to
might-
localize.
well, you got Shinobi on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that one's awesome. I love that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
So
was
like
good.
a follow up to that. I mean, I know there was there was a Shinobi game that was on the 3DS that was fairly decent.
Shinobi 3 will always be my favorite though.
Like Shinobi Den or something like that.
People like Shinobi 3. I don't know. I played Shinobi. I don't,
Shinobi 3 is the Shinobi.
people
That
like
was
it so
a-
much.
that
I don't know. I played it
amazing.
and I just didn't. I'm not.
That
sure.
was
No,
that
it
was
didn't
the
work
third
with you?
game.
No, I
That
know
was the
it's
third
good.
game I ever owned. That was the third game I ever owned, and I love it.
I know it's.
I'm
good,
like,
but
all I
it's-
know is you murdering people, then you bring a dog out there to murder more people. That's just good stuff. You can't.
I always
You
like.
can't go better than that.
I always liked like the Strider series more than Shinobi. Like I always thought.
I
Strider
can give you
was
that.
Really, really dope. I love
Strider Arcade, not Strider NES.
Yeah,
Strider
Strider-
NES was hard.
There was an arcade machine that I used to go to all the time. The only arcade in town that had that Strider arcade machine, and it would take forever, but we would all line up and play. Oh my gosh, dude, it was great. It was fantastic. Then they got rid of it, and I was pissed. And then it was broke, and then it wasn't there one day, and I was like, oh, back to the Simpsons then. If we're just play the Simpsons arcade game, because that game was dope. There was always people there playing the Simpsons game, like. So that was,
what's a platformer they should remake, and I'm wondering how it will do. Vector Man.
Yeah, I was talking about that the other day, man. Like a remake of Vector Man would be, if they could get it done in the right way. I mean, I don't know how you do it though.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like old school 2D, just like modern, like DKC Tropical Freeze, kind of like
Yeah,
I don't know about that. Down to about 2,000 games that we weren't reading.
I don't know about that.
You don't like Vector Man, Barry?
I don't know about that one. I would take a Jet Force Gemini.
Oh, Jet Force! Don't bring up Jet Force.
That's a good one.
Other rare games don't count. We got to pull the whole catalog.
We're
gonna start counting all the rare games at that point.
Jet Force, man. I remember Jet Force.
Jet Force Gemini was that ish, bro.
Got a couple of donations.
Jet Force is great, man. Great.
Got a couple donations to run through here, guys. David Valdez with the big 25 through Super Chat. Thank you, man. He says, supporting the live stream, received the Sega Genesis Mini today. Oh, nice. Looking forward to Link's Awakening tomorrow. Anybody here get the Sega Genesis Mini or planning on getting it?
Not yet, but I will be getting it.
Okay. I still ain't opened the PlayStation joint yet.
I'm never gonna open that one. I got it, but I'm never opening it. I know Jordan.
You're not missing out.
What?
You're not.
The PS1 Classic is really good once you mod it.
Once you mod it. Yeah.
There's the caveat.
Mine's still in the box.
Yeah. Also, shout outs to Out of Date Gamer Dorkman with the $5 donation through Stream Apps. Thank you, Out of Date Gamer. And he says, recently separated. Good to be back. I want to say thank you to everyone for taking time to be on the podcast. Look forward to it every Thursday. What generation does the Switch fall in? I'm a big believer in ninth gen. To me, it's ninth gen system.
And so people have lobbied on Wikipedia to go and say that it's 8th generation, and their arguments are really fucking weak. If you're going to read it, they have an entire wiki page about the conversation going back and forth. It's garbage.
Yeah.
I think it's such a blurred line now, so I don't think they really care too much about labeling it which generation it is.
Generations are exactly what they mean for everything else, a unit of time.
It's very similar to the Dreamcast situation. Like, Dreamcast came out in kind of a weird era. They still consider it part of the GameCube, PS2.
Yeah,
Xbox
6th generation. It was the first one.
Right. So it's just
that's different because there was no console after that.
But how is it different though?
Because Sega was done after that. There was no console after that.
Still a 6th gen.
It's still 6th
Their
gen
plan
Sega,
wasn't to be
though.
done.
They just didn't have a 7.
Which brings me to this situation, because I forgot to shoot this to you for a topic. The rumor about the PS5 having 2 models. Now that's interesting, because I'm like, what's the base model going to be? Is it barely going to be a PS4 Pro, like just a little bit stronger? It's
probably streaming.
It's going to be
kind of.
If they did 2 models, it's going to be just like they did with the PS3. There's going to be
They've done 2 models of so many consoles. Like the Wii U had multiple versions. The Switch has multiple versions. Like the Xbox had multiple versions when that released. It's nothing new. It's probably not going to be a huge.
Switch only had one when it launched, though.
No, there were 2. You could buy there are 2 technical different models. Like Joy-Cons, but you know what I mean. Like that's semantics. I get that, but if it is a difference,
I don't think
it's not going to be crazy.
It's not going to be.
No. It'd be a difference of like storage or something like that. It's not going to be like here's this base and then a Pro. I don't think they're going to drop
not like that. No, the rumor is for a PS5 base and a PS5 Pro.
They can't drop a Pro same.
That's what the rumor is. It's not just 2 separate models. It's supposed to be a PS5 base and a PS5 Pro. So I'm like, how the hell does that work?
At launch?
At launch. That's the rumor.
That makes sense.
What everybody's running with. Everybody report. I was like, what the hell?
That
makes no sense.
They can't support 8K out the box.
That don't make no sense, bro. I'm like, what? I'm like,
so
basically, that sounds like you abandoned the PS4. Like,
you look at what Apple did with their cell phones and everything. I can't say it doesn't make too much sense, because you're giving people options. More options is never really a bad thing. People either going to buy one model or the next, so it's still to equate to sales at the end of the day. And
it was bad for Wii U.
But it's different with Apple, because I'm an Apple seed, so I really know.
Go for it.
It's different with them because they've groomed their consumers for a long time on that model, and a lot of times
started with computers first.
Yeah, And you're not paying up front a lot of times, especially when it comes to the phones. You're not paying that money up front as far as the cost of the device itself. So it's different when you're looking at a console and you're like, yo, that's that's a chunk of change I got to drop right now, to be able to play.
All right, can you finance consoles yet? Because I know you can finance.
I'm pretty sure some bank out there is doing it.
Didn't Microsoft try that a little bit?
Finance consoles? Come
Microsoft
on, bro.
did that.
So they were going to do
I wouldn't do it.
It depends where you buy it. Like if you have a Best Buy credit card and you're shopping at Best Buy, you can finance it.
Well, they were going to where you would get an Xbox Live subscription, you would get an Xbox One console, and you had to subscribe to Comcast, and then Comcast would plug into the back of your Xbox One. And then you would get the Xbox One for a reduced price. That was something that Microsoft was actually that was literally on the table. I don't know if it actually took off and started at some point, but they had commercials for it at one point.
I remember that. I remember them doing that. So
no,
So what do y'all think?
They had a deal with ESPN3 and all that.
Walmart had a layaway program too, that was with Microsoft for the Xbox Arcade. You can make payments of $25 or whatever the case it was, till you paid it off. There was also that.
Oh Lord!
With Xbox Arcade with the 360, which was probably not successful. Which is probably not. It was with Kinect or something like that. Whole Kinect phase is probably the most annoying phase in gaming. Anyway.
So did anybody notice? Digital Foundry kind of being a little bit hypocritical?
I don't pay attention.
That's nothing new.
Well, the thing that they're doing now is the thing they should have been doing when the Wii U launched. Now, since there's no direct way to discern a difference on a spec sheet as far as how many shaders one console has versus another. Now they're trying to say which architecture is better. So now they're trying to say, well, this has the same amount of shaders, but it's a little bit better because, hey, this architecture, and hey, this is a little bit more memory heavy, and hey, you'll get a little bit more performance out of this. And I was like, that reminds me, this is an argument I made years ago back in 2011, and people were like, oh well shaders are shaders, and therefore they don't have the bandwidth. I'm like, nah, not all shaders are not the same, bro. Now all of a sudden they're magically saying it because it looks on paper that these consoles are going to be weaker than the older consoles. So now they gotta give you a reason, and they've made 2 videos now, trying to go out of their way to explain how the shader count and the shader difference is going to give you more performance. It's true, but why didn't they give this explanation before with drastically different architectures on other machines?
That's too technical.
I think it's pretty obvious that, I actually wanted to do a video on this. It's pretty obvious that Digital Foundry looked at the gaming climate at the time and said, we're going to play up this whole console war thing to get, people to watch us and to get, clicks and views and whatnot. And they did. Now, I will say, I don't know when it started, maybe in the last year or so, year and a half, they've kind of changed that a little bit. They've been a lot more fair. They've been a lot more descriptive when it comes to their architecture and the descriptions of how games are running on different hardware. And they've actually, I feel like they're starting to contribute more to the culture of gaming than they used to, when they used to just be on that fanboy stuff, just to pit the PS4 guys against the Xbox dudes and just completely dismiss Wii U. We were all there, so we know how that went down. But so I commend them for at least turning that around, but they have to take responsibility for where they came from. They have to.
Well, you guys, I follow the guy on Twitter. I think John Lindemann, something like that.
Yeah, that's the guy I replied to about Zelda.
I follow him on Twitter, and you can see he's kind of fed up with it too. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's also their comment section is completely toxic. You can't even go in there and have a normal conversation. I mean, there's just so much stupid, and at some point you get tired of that. I mean, heck, I nuked the whole channel because of the comment sections before. That I had before. So I mean, at some point, it's oh, that's great. There's all these people coming. I had like 1,000 people subscribe in like 20 days or something like that. So that's really good. That's really good. It's way more progress than I get today. But the comment section just ends up becoming
it was toxic,
like just toxic waste. So it's like,
but it's their creation though.
I know it's their creation. That's what Ms. T said, that they have to take responsibility. But they're walking back on that hard. I mean, so hard that he actually responded to what I said. He responded to me. He doesn't even follow me. Dude, I never spoke. He actually, I quoted his tweet thinking, of course he's not gonna respond. He responded back to me saying, yeah, man, I'm with you. Because I said that, hey, look, that's why. I said to him, I was like, well, this is the reason why I don't care about this whole tech stuff. Just play a game if it's good. Play it, period. And he responded, not even with another quote. He responded back to my message saying, he's like, yeah, man, I'm totally with you. He's like, now I just want to show off the stuff that's cool in games. So like, I think everybody there is kind of they're getting old too. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of digital, they're getting old. I don't think they're tired of dealing with it.
I would say they were already old.
Yeah, but they're getting older. Everybody's getting older because we're going on what? I mean, if you go back to like the Wii days, like all this, like this, like where we had like the online, right? Where online really started, N4G days, 2007, 2008. Yeah, that was oh gosh. So guys were in their early 20s or late 20s. The guys are getting to their 40s now and stuff. It's like kind of getting old for this type of stuff. Guys getting in their 50s. Right. If you're in your mid 30s back then, you're getting in your 50s now. So it's like you really.
I never got what took that garbage so seriously. I mean,
I was done when they admitted their script didn't work. Like their pixel counting is literal pixel counting. They open up Paint and then they count pixels. When I saw that, I was like, yep, we're done.
I mean, they got caught lying times. So it was already done. Like I was.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, I mean, I'm glad that they, like I said, they turned it around. It seems like they're growing up, if you will. But the problem is, there's been casualties. There's at least one casualty. I'm sure that a lot of that stuff really affected how the Wii U did. Like, I mean, I think they really did affect.
They destroyed that.
59 frames per second.
That was insane.
59 frames per second when the game was coded for NSTC for 59.4 frames per second. Like literally, you're complaining about that.
Listen, it wasn't just them.
No, it wasn't just them.
Third parties had a play in that.
People would use them though.
Yeah, EA was clowning.
That was the problem.
It was EA, Digital Foundry was the barometer for stuff. It was like, yo, this version of this game is trash because Digital Foundry says so. You know what I'm saying?
And they were selling their research to those gaming articles, those gaming press articles that were using them as leverage. So
Yep.
I would say this: third parties was the fire, Digital Foundry was the gasoline.
Yeah,
they were the damn nuke, napalm. It was more than just gasoline. Dude,
no, they was gasoline just thrown onto the fire that was already there.
My problem was in their analysis, they never addressed the fact that this could possibly be the problem of, hey, less development time or this person not having experience on this platform. That's never addressed. The first thing they say is the limits of the hardware. And I'm like, well, if you got shitty code, then it's just going to look bad no matter what it's on. So when you start seeing, well, I guess the proof was in the pudding then when you start seeing shitty graphics issues on Batman on PC. When that started happening, they're like, oh, well, we can't really say that it's because of weaker hardware. So let's just say that the shaders are broken and they have driver issues. Nah, it wasn't driver issues. The game was just fucking broken, and they needed to reprogram that shit and put updates out. So, if that happens on PC, which is more powerful hardware all the time, is a given, right? So, perhaps, just maybe, sometimes developers don't have time. They can't optimize, or they're not familiar with the hardware they're coding on, and that's why you get slower performance on some other platform. Maybe. But who knows?
But let me tell you guys something. Speaking of hardware, who here is getting a Switch Lite? Before we get into some Q&A and wrap this one up.
Oh wow! Another segue. You've been on it tonight.
I ain't touching the Switch Lite with 15. No. I ain't touching the Switch Lite with a 50-foot pole. I don't want that garbage.
It's a Switch, but just portable only.
Yep.
I mean, it's not a Switch no more.
No,
It doesn't switch.
Doesn't have to switch.
I voiced my opinion on that. I'm done. I'm not making. So
it
I'm not
does
getting.
tablet
Does
mode.
it
with
play
that.
Switch games? It's a Switch, bro.
Does it play Switch games, right? Or does it play
Switch
3DS?
is a
Does
console.
it play 3DS
2DS
games?
plays 3DS
It's
games.
Does it play PS4
But it's called
games?
2DS though. They changed the name. They should
But
have
it still
called it.
plays. There's no 2DS video games. It's all 3DS games.
They should have
though.
called it Nintendo Switchless. That's what they should have called it.
the dumbest.
No, they have to call it. They have,
But if you play a
for
3DS game
branding,
on your
they have
TS,
to call
it
it
isn't
that.
called a 2DS game.
That Wii U marketing all over again.
Yeah, I know that. I would have been
Like-
more shook by that name than Baron was when we mentioned the sale.
Like they're not putting the Wii U
Like,
logo on the Wii game when you play it in backwards compatibility
can
mode.
somebody find the episode of Baron being so shook about the sale?
I was not shook. I was shook that you said that. That's what
No, you
I was like. This man did not just say that. Bull
no, you were
crap.
shook about the sale. This man thought 3D Land sold like 4 million copies.
What are you talking? I bought 3D Land, so what are you talking about? I knew how much it sold.
This man
But
thought
nah,
3D
bought
Land was
one,
true about
so
like
he
nobody
knew
bought
that
that game.
millions
Probably
and
sold that in
millions
the first
of
day.
And the whole time, your boy over here talking about Steel Diver, I was just rolling the whole
Steel
time. Like y'all,
Steel Diver, dude.
that whole episode was just pure
Steel
comedy.
Diver was so trash. I bought that game.
It's,
Oh my
it's
God.
the game that saved the 3DS.
It was.
Didn't they make
man.
it free to play or something at one point?
There
They
wasn't a
did.
free to play Steel
Maybe.
Diver version yet.
Oh, that was garbage.
That game was so slow. It felt like it was like what was the point of like,
Listen,
I'd rather
Hey,
play
that was
Battleship,
Miyamoto's
Battleship,
idea.
like the old school board.
you're in
game.
a
Battleship was
submarine.
faster.
Do you think it's going that fast?
Battleship was literally faster than that damn Steel Diver, dude?
But
A
those are ships
battleship
on
moves
top of the
faster than a
water.
submarine. It's still
Submarines are just, you know.
But
they
I'm
chill.
just
but I
saying
have
you
a
could get
submarine
through a
game.
game of
Give me
Battleship faster.
Saturn.
You can,
Sega Saturn, and it moves faster than Steel Diver on 3D.
I can sink 3 of my sister's battleships in faster time than beating one level.
Wait, she got
So-
3 battleships? I thought the game only gives you like
No.
1 real battleship.
Well, you get multiple. Well, you get like multiple.
Yeah, those
side
are other
units.
types of ships. You get 1
Yeah.
regular battleship.
Well, whatever. I just call them all battleships. I just call them the big battleship, the medium battleship. I call it the small battleship.
You suck my medium battleship.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wasn't there was an Advance Wars game on the Game Boy that was more like a battleship game? What game was that? I can't think of the name of it, but it was literally battleship. Like you had the grid and everything, and you had to match the grid to sink somebody else's battleship. And it was on Game Boy Advance. I can't remember the name of it. But it was literally a battleship game, but Nintendo published it. And I think it wasn't in I won't say Advance Wars, but it was Advance something.
I got
What was that flex?
What it was.
What was
I
that?
don't know. You know, I'm used to
over here
flexing
stretching.
for a living.
You
So
just
wanted to
sometimes
flex.
I
You're
can't
just like,
do it. So
Yeah, did you,
You gotta be slick with it too.
I have that
You gotta be
gear.
you gotta be slick with it too.
hey,
He's out here.
Hey,
This,
hey.
He got
He doesn't-
everybody
he
out here
doesn't be
flexing.
flicky,
Everybody,
makes it go-
everybody in
this is exactly what Baron just did. He went, yeah, did you see this? You see, look at the, raise the roof. Like,
that hard flex. You gotta here pull up the
No,
whole, show him
gotta-
the whole
like-
tricep down there.
you want to see a steel diver?
Hey, sometimes, hey, you got to excuse me because this is like muscle memory. So sometimes just do it, just naturally do it out of nowhere. So.
I don't know, man. I think you still feeling the effects from Super Mario 3D Land. You had to shake it off a bit. You had to get a little bit hard on it. You know what I'm
We
saying?
won't let him go.
So he think about that game during his ring entry.
Hey, I got.
Someone said OJ's biceps are bigger.
They might.
Nah, definitely not.
They might be.
I
I don't
mean,
even lift. I don't even lift weights, bro. I don't even lift.
I don't lift weights either. I'm a
about 4 weeks. I
calisthenics
need to
guy.
go.
I'm a body weight trainer. That's
I
what.
just run.
Calisthenics
I
is
don't-
the way
hey.
to go.
hey, I don't lift weights. I just lift your
You
girl.
see these traps?
I don't have a girl to lift, but yeah. So-
You see them traps right there, boy?
I
Shoulders
lift
like
hostess
bowling.
pies.
Bro. Let me get.
Hey, I want to bring something to attention because I kind of see this happening.
What's up?
So, you know, Nintendo Switch been on the roll, right? You got 4 games that are legitimately Game of the Year contenders. Looking at how Luigi's Mansion is shaping up after all the previews I read, it's being pretty damn good. So, Pokemon Sword and Shield, even though I give it shit, gameplay wise, it still should hold up pretty well.
Low 80s.
Even with the 64 trees. So are we gonna have a situation where the Switch has damn near 4 to 5 Game of the Year contenders on one platform?
What was the PS4 Game of the Year contender? It was in March, I think. What game was that?
Sekiro.
Yes.
You talking about the
That's on
multiplayer?
Xbox and PC.
Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah, that was a multiplayer, ain't it?
So my question is, as a gaming industry, in the gaming media, most specific, what do you do at that point? Because I don't see Luigi's Mansion scoring low. I see it scoring high.
None of them are going to win.
What do you do at that point when you have 4 to 5 games that are Game of the Year quality on one platform?
They're going
if
to
you're Jeff
pick
Keighley,
one.
you don't count any of them because they missed the magic window of Sony stopped publishing on this date.
Yeah, and you're not guest starring in any of them. So
I mean, like, not a single Xenoblade game has even been a runner-up.
Well, I'm gonna say this. He did come out on Twitter and say Smash is in the running for a lot of
But
categories.
Smash isn't. But we already know. We've seen the same song and dance with
But that's
Smash,
hypocritical
okay?
though, because Smash was a December game, wasn't it?
Yeah,
No.
but that he didn't do the same thing for Xenoblade Chronicles. But what I'm saying,
technically, Smash came out the date, like literally the night after the Game Awards. Xenoblade Chronicles came out a few days before.
They both.
This is why the Game Awards should be held at the beginning of that next year.
Like
so
the
when
Oscars.
the games come out,
It should.
they have a chance. There's a reason the Oscars are in March and April.
Yeah, I agree with that, Jordan. I don't know why people don't do it that way. But
Because it's
when
Jeff Keighley, and he does what he wants with his show.
true.
Death Stranding is gonna win. He's in it, guys.
Death
Nah.
Stranding.
Nah.
Death Stranding.
If that shit wins,
I don't know
I'll
why
rage
y'all
quit.
think that game is gonna be no.
Yo, if that game's
It's gonna
wins,
get its own special
we're
award.
not saying it's going to be good. We're just saying it's going to be a
It's
contender.
gonna, yeah, absolutely. Like,
He'll
it can
put
be
it
trash,
in-
whatever.
He'll
It can
put
have
it
a
in some
0 on
category where
Metacritic.
it can win. But
It's
this
gonna
brings
win.
up my other question though. So we're gonna have like 6 games that are going to be pretty much the best games of the year. How in the world does any game beat these 6 games in their own genre categories? Like, when you think about that, RPG of the year, that has to be Pokemon or Fire Emblem. Strategy game of the year, that has to be Fire Emblem. Action game of the year, it has to be Astral Chain.
Nope.
Borderlands,
Borderlands
is gonna be up here. Borderlands.
No. They're gonna bring back the shooter category here because there's too many shooters. They're gonna bring back the shooter category. That's
Borderlands is not just about the shooting, though. There's a lot more mechanics in it. It's not
kinda
like a
I'm
Call
going
of
to tell you. I'm going to tell you.
I mean, it's a
this about-
first-person shooter, but it's also an RPG with a lot of other deep mechanics in it.
I'm just saying, look at all the games that's coming out. Go through every category. Say that Switch is not the front runner.
Well, this is the
Man.
scenario where
I mean, the
that-
Switch put out the most games this year that are high rated.
I can see there was Sekiro, there was Resident Evil, there's all those sorts of games that came out earlier. But Mr. T, what were you gonna say, dude?
No, I was just gonna say, like, there's a scenario in 1985. I'm an old guy, so in 1985, there was a movie came out, one of the greatest movies ever made. Got 9 Oscar nominations. You know how many Oscars it won? 0.
I mean, we've seen that
The
already.
the movie was called The Color Purple.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
Right.
80. Come on, we know why that's
happened.
happening.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's other reasons that go into that. There's
We know
other
why
reasons that go
happened
into
in
that.
85.
Yeah, but
I'm
Switch,
just saying,
Switch
there's
is
a
the brother here,
there's
though. You know what I'm saying?
scenarios where that happens. There are movies that get flubbed up to this date where they don't get the nod or the recognition.
Like, what
they
about
should
Remember the Titans? That didn't get the recognition it deserves, and that movie's amazing. That's like the greatest
Right.
movie.
I'm
one of
just
the greatest
saying-
movies ever.
Okay.
Program should've
Denzel
got
did
it.
not win.
Even when
He
you
didn't
get
win.
to
He
that.
didn't win an Oscar for that. He didn't win anything for the Remember.
Here's the
the Titans.
He
situation.
won for Training Day though.
Yeah, but
There's-
because he was a bad guy.
They did that.
You can-
They gave him that because they knew he deserved one way before that.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
why
I'm
they
saying.
gave
He
the
should have won.
Training Day.
He
Yeah,
should've
but
won for
also
Day.
Training Day is like.
So what
No,
you're
it's
saying
not- don't
is
get it.
you're saying
He was
you're
great.
saying Killy this year he should bend down on one knee, hold the L, and say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and give the award. I'm gonna give the award to Torna.
I mean,
Well, yeah.
I mean,
well,
No, that's not going. Y'all can
and
hang
even if
that
you
up.
compare that against releases this year, probably still wouldn't happen.
well,
Yeah.
Torna for Game of the Year or Torna for like what best DLC? Like what?
best DLC.
Oh,
It'll
Best
win that.
DLC, best
It could
RPG.
win best
Downloadable
DLC.
content.
It could win best DLC
Torna,
easily.
Torna is easily the best DLC thing
Of all
that
time.
I've ever
Best
played.
DLC of the
Easily,
year.
it is.
It'll win
phenomenal.
best
Probably
package.
is. I don't know.
Is like
You had
better than most full games. Like
Hell,
it literally
best
is.
Oscar
It has
hold
more
on,
content
hold on,
better than
really.
most full games. So
Y'all forget. Y'all
She
forget.
went all the way through on that one.
Y'all forgetting Iceborne did come out. Iceborne came out for March on it, so that probably will be up there too.
yeah, Iceborne DLC.
When it comes
Oh
to
yeah,
that.
Iceborne.
Yeah, it's really good from what I've seen. I've been watching Max play it.
But I'm just saying, just looking at it, best soundtrack. That's definitely got to be a Switch game. It's art direction, got to be a Switch game. It's like
no, it's
it's
not
crazy, bro.
It's not a given because, dude,
I'm looking at the competition is
Octopath
going
Traveler,
against. That has to
Torna
be.
and Xenoblade soundtracks crush. Oh, like literally destroy every game in none of
Like
those
I
games.
said,
Anything.
Killy need
Bruh,
to hold
bruh,
it
hold
and
on,
go back to
nothing.
some
Hold
games.
up. OJ, you got to understand, you didn't have a polarizing franchise.
But
like
it doesn't matter, dude. People will sit there and listen to
It
Red
does
Dead
matter.
Redemption soundtrack.
That
and say that's the
matters.
greatest thing ever. They'll give Red Dead game soundtrack.
because it's Red Dead Redemption. That matters because it's a polarizing
Doesn't-
franchise.
Dude, it can be freaking.
This year, you don't have that
They
situation.
will give that crap to Sekiro. They'll say Sekiro. Oh, the ambient sounds of Sekiro really stimulated us while we play. They will give ambient sounds and
No.
God of War sounding music. Anything that sounds similar to God of War will get game of the soundtrack of the year. It's like these lame ass
makes no
soundtracks. These corny,
Those soundtracks ain't nowhere
cornball,
near.
lame soundtracks always win soundtrack of the year. These lame. Oh, the way that they put that ambient sound. I'm like, y'all ears are garbage. If y'all ears
They're
are
like, hey,
trash.
they're like,
Y'all
hey,
got
they're
no
like, hey,
ears. I'm
they're
sorry,
like, hey,
man.
somebody call
I'm
Tom
done.
Tallarico. Who are his friends? Did any of his friends make music this year? Okay, they get the best soundtrack of the year. That's basically how that works.
I don't know, man. The fact that
Just like,
Torna,
did my buddy's
Octopath,
buddy make a
and
game this
Xenoblade
year?
2 didn't win anything. That's why I've given up all hope on that.
I get what you're saying, but it was those big polarizing, overpopular franchises that tend to get that leeway. You know what I mean?
But you ain't gonna tell me.
But
that
this year you don't have those. You don't have those franchises.
than Xenoblade.
Play, huh?
You ain't gonna tell me that Red Dead
No,
has a better soundtrack.
no,
than
absolutely not. No.
like
But
Lil
who's the
Nas
bigger
X made a better
franchise?
soundtrack to that game than they did.
Who's the bigger franchise?
Wow, you're right. He did. You're
You said
right.
what?
Oh wow,
And set records with that shit.
Yeah, that is
he
true.
really did. Oh wow. The more you know.
You know, Xenoblade soundtrack was from Yatsuri Mitsuda. He's the guy who made Chrono Trigger soundtrack.
Yeah. Like
Complete
you don't.
lack of respect from Keeley. He's always talking about his friend and Japanese develop. Complete lack of respect from Keeley.
He don't play them games, man.
Complete
he doesn't.
lack of respect.
He probably don't.
That's when I
don't
decided
play 'em.
that. I never took it that seriously, but that's when I decided, okay, this is like the awards, actual awards is a joke, but I'm going to enjoy the show. I go there for the show, the announcements. The announcements have been great, guys. You know, the announcements are always really good. But the actual awards, they lost all my respect when it comes to the rewards with the whole Xenoblade and Octopath Traveler not winning. Like, it's like, okay, this is.
Oh wait! They lost me in 2014 with that baby. That
Yeah.
infuriated me
With
so
Bayonetta.
much.
There was that too.
That infuriated me at that
We
point.
can
I was
say one thing
infuriated.
though. We can say one thing though. Reggie always has something good to say when he comes out.
Yeah, well, last year was really good because you had all on stage. I was like, that's some good shit.
That was dope.
I don't know how he worked that one, but that was good.
That was dope. And yeah.
The soundtracks that win soundtrack of the year are corny. They're corny.
Octopath and Xenoblade should have got it. Definitely Octopath.
Red Dead
Octopath
soundtrack
is
is corny.
amazing.
Red Dead
It should've
soundtrack
been
is corny.
Octopath.
Because I listened to it because like people were saying, "Oh, Jay, the soundtrack's actually good." I listened to it. I was like, "This is corny." Y'all be listening to this like Blake Shelton stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's fine. If y'all like Blake Shelton, that's fine. I guess
My
he's a
dude said
super popular-
Blake Shelton.
Y'all be listening to
No.
Blake
Blake
Shelton,
Shelton.
Red Dead Redemption soundtrack. You know, like y'all be listening to this corny stuff, man. But whatever.
I will
Now, if you're gonna talk
will
about
say this
something-
though.
If you're gonna talk about a military shooter with a good soundtrack, that was Call of Duty 2. Call of Duty 2 and original modern Medal of Honor. Those had real good
All I
soundtracks
heard
because they
was
were literally trying to chase Saving Private Ryan.
All I heard was throwing granato. Brrr. Like, I wasn't listening to the damn music. What are you talking? Y'all really listening to that music? The music sounds good while you're just like, are you really listening to the music?
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna make a prediction that probably will fail, but I think it has a possibility. I think 3 Switch games would be nominated for game out of the whole category. 3 of them.
What 3 though?
Two of them will be Astral Chain and Fire Emblem for sure. I don't know who the third one going to be. I'm gonna toss that up betwin Mario Maker and Luigi's Man.
I can't wait for Baron's video.
Rage video.
Hey, you should get tickets to go there so you can rage in person. Rage in person. Go there and rage.
It's garbage. I can't wait for it.
I'm just saying. If 4 of the best selling and top rated, 4 out of the 6 best selling top rated games are on Switch, what can you do? There's nothing you can do about it.
I think Smash had a 93
Baron,
average. Was the best.
Go get your super dark shades.
And
I need you to rage in person, man. To go crazy.
It's just not happening. But anyway, we're gonna.
I'm gonna say this though. This might be the first year Nintendo probably the best in there. I'm gonna say that.
This is gonna be the first year that you might be disappointed again. The multiple years are gonna be disappointed again. How about that?
Look,
all right,
it's gonna be a Steam downloadable only title.
We got to get Avedon out of here because he's streaming. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a few minutes of questions.
No, don't worry about me. If I got a dip, I'll just leave, and you guys can keep going.
Well, it's already. I've already got you guys for 2. I've already taken 2 hours of you guys' time, so we definitely have to wrap it up. We're gonna get to questions here, guys. If you guys have questions, we'll answer them for 6 minutes on the dot. 6 minutes. So
better ask those
6
questions.
minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on.
On.
6 minutes.
I do.
6 minutes.
Old school, baby.
Yeah, I grew up on that song, dude. My dad always played that song.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Man. So no questions?
Any question? I don't think they. See, people agree with me, OJ. They can see that happening.
what happened?
Yes, thank you. 3 Switch games nominated for Game of the Year. A record.
It's definitely possible.
At the end of the day, it don't matter.
I'm feeling freaking over here. He said Wonderful 101 had a hot soundtrack too. I'm like, yeah, but that whole game gave me like Saturday morning cartoon vibes. It was it was just good.
Yeah, that
glorious.
The game was great. I loved it.
Indie Game of the Year. I haven't played any indie this year, so I can answer.
When
that
did
one.
SteamWorld Dig 2 come out?
That was this year.
I didn't play any indie games.
No, that was
this year.
last year.
Oh, swear.
That was
2017. That was a launch game.
2017.
Was it?
That's my
Yeah, it was a
indie
launch
game.
game.
Two?
Yeah, that was my indie game of the year. It's my indie game of the year every year.
Dang.
SteamWorld Dig, because I play it every year and I beat it every single year.
Yeah, that's a good game.
My favorite indie game probably still is Monster Boy. That game is amazing.
So the next question is Breath of the Wild 2 going to be Nintendo's game to combat PS5 and Xbox Scarlet?
It could be.
But I mean, they don't have to do that though. Like
They probably don't have to.
They're not releasing the game to go against, like their games are that powerful.
True.
Ooh,
Okay, next question.
Katana Zero is actually a phenomenal indie game. That might be my indie game of the year this
Katana Zero?
year. Yeah, Katana Zero is
I
good.
gotta look that one
All
up.
right.
Yeah.
Next question. What do you guys think would be the big Nintendo announcement at the Game Awards? That's a good question. I'm saying Bayonetta 3.
Metroid
Prime 4 footage.
Yeah,
Prime 4, that would be
Prime 4.
I'm gonna
I think
go
we're
with
gonna see
Bayonetta 3.
Prime 4 over Bayonetta 3?
We're
I'm going with
I-
Bayonetta 3.
No, because here's what's going to happen. The reason why we're not going to see Bayonetta is because early next year, whatever director what we have early in the year is going to give us our information on Bayonetta 3. What this is going to do is actually show us some real something tangible from Metroid that's still not going to come out for another year and a half. But they're going to give us a huge tease.
It might not even come out.
They just restarted it though. Is that even
That's-
possible?
No, they didn't just restart it. They
They
restarted
started
it.
what, January, I think.
That's when they told us they restarted.
They've been working on it. Yeah, they've been working on this for a while. They're going to have something by the end of the year to show us. They have to. It's been
Apparently, the rumors are that what's it called? Retro Studios put together a demo. And was like, hey, what you guys think about this? And they compared it to what Bandai Namco was doing. Was like, yo, this is kind of trash.
Yeah.
Compared to, and so if they might already have got it jump started and might have something to show, or at least an official announcement of like actually something tangible. Maybe even like a CG trailer. Maybe even something like that, like they did for Bayonetta.
Yeah, I think we'll see something like that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think the storyline's been in place for quite some time too. I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
the storyline's
yeah.
been written for a while, right? Or they know that what they wanted to do with it.
Yeah.
they know the progression of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wish Metroid Prime 4 was made by Namco so I could still have some Raven Blade going, but it looks like they're gonna never get time for it.
Raven Blade is dead. I gave up on that.
yeah.
I gave up on that in the
So-
Wii era.
All the
That's
guys
about
that
as
made that
dead.
game.
That's about as dead as Tornado is,
Yeah.
man.
It's not happening. happening, bro.
All the dudes that made
What
that
I
game are at
think-
different company, or they're
I think what's gonna
they're
happen
making records
is when they show off. Whenever they do show off Metroid Prime 4, I think they're going to announce the title of the game. That's what's
Okay.
going to blow people's minds. I think because it has there's always the subtitle, so I think it's going to be Metroid Prime 4, and then it's going to fade in what the actual title of the game is. Because we've had echoes, corruption.
The title again. That's all we see.
Title screen.
yeah, that's it. It's the same screen, says Metroid Prime 4, and then a title comes in. That's the only change. And
It's gonna
everyone
be
will be like,
Metroid.
"Oh my god, it's amazing!"
Now
They moved
now
it.
in
They
development.
gave it a name.
They said now in
Take
development.
bets right
oh,
now.
it's in development. It's in development.
We're
You
still
get
working on.
you get like 2.5 seconds of Samus side boob, and then there you go.
Adobe After Effects.
I'm down.
That's
For,
it.
I'm always.
What if
down
it's
for
called
something
Metroid
like
Prime 4 Hunters Evolved? Oh shit, multiplayer.
No,
I think
no,
Hunters would turn people off.
one. No,
Hunters would- the
two.
name
It's gonna be
Hunters would
one
turn people
word.
off.
It's gonna be one word. That's their title scheme. It's gonna be one word.
That's what I hope Federation. That's what I wish Federation Force was.
Yeah, Metroid Prime Hunters was so
Prime
damn
Hunters
good.
2.
Federation Force.
Yeah,
that was a
people sleep on it.
highly liked game, wasn't it?
Ugh. Anyway,
It
next
wasn't a bad
question.
game. It was a bad Metroid game. That was the problem.
Next question is
Do you think-
predictions for the 5th Smash Brothers Ultimate Fighter Pass.
That's.
I
not
feel
a
like this
question.
question's every week
That's not
though.
a question that's been asked, has it? Who is
Yeah,
Crash Bandicoot, Croc, Chameleon Twist character. I don't care.
There's,
Chrono, anybody.
there's literally there's like a bot. People asking that. There's bots in every chat asking that question just to make sure that
It's
keeps
like-
it up.
At this point, it doesn't matter because we're getting more DLC. So I don't
Yeah,
care
word.
who they put it. They put Terry in. There's very few people going, "Oh, they're gonna put Terry in this game." And all of a sudden, people are like, "Oh, cool, Terry's here." No one had on their chart for Terry.
The only thing I really want is at the end of all this DLC is that they release another version of Smash that has all these characters in it. Because some point, this game is not on the server, it goes away. All these characters that we're downloading now are gone forever. Like if you lose your hard drive dies down the road somewhere,
Yeah.
these characters are gone.
That's the
So
problem with
I hope they
digital content.
re-release it and have all the characters.
They'll probably re-release it on a cart, probably for
Yeah,
Switch.
that's what I want.
It would have to be a bigger cart too by that time.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
it's-
Kind of how they did.
They
the,
can afford it.
Marvel's
Nintendo
Capcom.
can afford to give themselves a bigger cart.
The
Yes.
32,
How much
the
money that
32s
can
and
be.
64s are being produced now.
It would
we'll see.
need to depend on how much DLC there is. It might need to be bigger than a 32, but I don't think it'd be.
Give it a 128.
A 120.
What?
Oh
Goodness.
man.
So here's my question. Here's my question for everybody.
That's
So-
the last question. Too, by the way.
Somebody said something about this, but I think it should be a
Go
question.
on.
Do you feel Metroid Prime 4 should have online multiplayer?
I
Mm,
don't think it's necessary. Personally, I don't think it's necessary. Like,
Nah.
you have to make it unique because it'll be too much like Halo at that point.
I'd rather them not focus on that to
Yeah.
make an incredible campaign, but
Yeah,
if they have the resources and time to make a good online multiplayer concept idea, can make it viable and work without taking away assets and time for the story, cool. Do it. Why
think-
I
not?
mean, they literally can make it like Hunter. Step
But
it
I
up.
Yeah,
think if they do it, but
I
if they
just don't
do it
want it to
though,
be
they
a
should
first
have
spot.
they should have a co-op that's playable as well too. That's doable. So if you're gonna do that, then you got to
Ooh,
figure
what
out
if
a
the
way to
next
do
one
the
is-
campaign and make it work. Like
I don't-
that was the whole appeal of Halo as well.
What if Samus and Dark Samus team up? Bro, it's a co-op adventure.
There you go.
Nah, that's not a
Or
good
one
idea.
of the hunters.
I don't think I like that.
They'll
Co-
call
co-op-
it
co-op
Corruption
is not a good idea.
X2.
Well, that'll be
You
the
wanna
only
throw
problem though,
one of
because
the other
you're
hunters
not
in.
going to want to play as one of the hunters. You're going to fight for Samus.
I just
So,
think that like Hunters, that game was great multiplayer, but the single player wasn't very good. Like it wasn't that great.
No.
You know.
No, so you basically combine the two. Basically, it's just take Hunters and add it to Metroid Prime. Basically,
It was a nice what I'm looking for. It was a nice tech demo for the DS to show that the DS could do 3D
3D.
games.
touchscreen shooting and all that stuff.
Right.
It wasn't
Yeah,
really
and then
done
it-
back then.
It showcased all the
Yeah.
features of it.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
did,
Right.
it did a good job of it too. You got
Yeah,
like a
it was
demo. Like, but my favorite
I played that demo cart so much.
My favorite Metroid Prime game is actually Metroid Prime Pinball.
Pinball
really.
was dope. Yo,
Wow.
That game is so good. You guys don't like Metroid Prime Pinball?
Oh my god!
pinball. I love pinball.
Metroid
I mean,
Prime
I
2,
like
no,
it.
it's really good.
But
the original
I'm
Metroid
done.
I
Prime
like
two.
pinball games.
I don't know if I'm like holding it above the Prime series.
It's
like,
above Prime 2. It's above Prime 2.
No, no, see, I
What
can't
is
go.
wrong with
He
you?
went there.
I can't know.
He went there.
Oh my
He went there
God.
proudly.
Prime 2's got
like,
trash at times, dude.
like I'm barely holding that over like Other M, my guy. Like that's.
Oh my, it smokes.
That
Other
is
M.
not over Other M either. Y'all
It's
gonna stop
Other
no
M.
Other M. I'm
Yeah.
tired of this. Stop hating on Other M. I'm tired of this.
Other M, if your whole thumb didn't cover
Oh,
the
you
whole
got a soft
D-pad,
spot for that game?
Oh no.
Man.
Other M.
Other M was good because you get the DDT motherfuckers. Like,
No,
you-
Other
that
M is
don't happen
great,
nowhere
but
else.
they said we're going to make a
I wouldn't
great
say
game,
that.
then destroy it with controls. Like we're going to make a great game.
Yeah.
I had no
Absolutely
problem
destroy
with
the
how
game with
Other M
control.
controlled. I don't know why everybody had problems.
Because the controller
No,
in a
maybe
3D game
you
with
are
a
the
2D
problem.
That was only part of the problem. Other end,
With the tiny,
Yeah, the
D-pad.
story was the other
story
part.
was whack.
Because the story and
Characterization
the
of Samus
monologues were-
herself.
Characterization of Samus was atrocious.
That wasn't even Samus. Like,
Why
Who
was it
was that?
atrocious?
Okay, we're
Why-
not gonna get into this,
why-
guys. We're gonna save this for another day because this can go on. We've seen people lose their lives over
Other
this.
M, thank you. Somebody in the chat. Other
The
M
Other
was
M
extremely
Death Squad.
underrated.
No,
Why
people have lost their people have been permabanned. Go Nintendo had a civil.
They really
no,
have.
no joke.
OJ
Go
about to get canceled
Nintendo.
over Other M.
Real quick, guys. Go Nintendo literally had a civil war over this game, like where people were banned. It was, RMC's community is always pretty good, right? And that was just when people drew out the swords and charged and were like literally killing each other in the chat. So there was a rule. No longer, they made a rule. You can't talk about Other M on Go Nintendo's comment section. No more. You can't even mention the game. You can't even mention the game. They banned the game from
I
being
see
mentioned.
it. I personally can't remember another game that made me physically upset than Other end.
Why was you physically upset?
I
don't
can.
understand
I can.
it.
Mass Effect
I was just about
Andromeda.
to say, Mass Effect Andromeda made me
I
physically
sat
ill.
I sat there playing
Mass
it as
Effect 3 is
tears,
ending.
tears started dripping from my eyes as I'm sitting there trying to enjoy it. Like, what? What happened?
That
What
game
happened?
was so after the trilogy. That game is
Soiled
so
it.
bad. It's so
Soiled
bad.
it.
They fixed it later on. It's playable now.
No.
but at launch.
No, barely.
but
Don't
no,
even call it
it's much
playable.
more. It's much more. They got a 4K.
No, it's a lot
I mean,
more
sure, you can play it, but should you?
Uh-oh.
No.
No, I mean,
It
no.
is
For
awful.
like
OJ, you
two-
starting to sound like one of them Destiny apologists.
no, I'm not. No. What I'm saying
Destiny
is, that over the long
You gotta play
course
the
of
raid,
patches-
man. You gotta play the raid.
No, I'm just saying over the long course of patches,
man.
like she looked like, I don't know, looked like somebody slapped the hell out of her multiple times at the beginning. Her face, like the Ashley, right? She looked so weird, and then they fixed her to actually look
Anyway.
normal. But anyway,
Game's crap. Don't buy Andromeda.
yeah, look,
Ever.
guys, look, Andromeda's not good, but they did patch it up a bunch of
It's
times.
nowhere
bought it.
close.
Somewhat playable.
Andromeda.
recently.
Other
I bought it
M.
for $5 though.
Yeah, I'd play Other M over Andromeda any day.
Other M.
You need to play the new Andromeda. You might want to play.
No,
over
I'm
You play
good.
Other end over Andromeda. You
Because
should
at
play
least,
that.
Yes.
at least Andromeda you can play comfortably.
You think I'm gonna trust BioWare ever again?
At least Andromeda
Wait a
you can play
minute.
comfortably.
How do you
do it.
put Andromeda over Other M?
No, I'm just saying. At least you can. They're both
I haven't
bad.
played it,
Andromeda?
so I can't do
And
that.
that's the
Other M.
podcast.
All
You
right,
cannot put Andromeda
I am
above
not
Other M.
putting it
Stop
over.
that bull
I'm
crap.
not putting it over. I like Metroid Other M more than Andromeda. I'm just saying. Like, I'm just saying. At least I
What
can
you're
play
saying
Andromeda comfortably. I can play a bad game comfortably. At least I
What?
can do that.
How are you playing it comfortably? The
Because
controls suck.
The controller.
Controls suck. It's terrible.
Game
on
doesn't
controller.
even work.
Your hands. I'm talking about like the Wii remote is the most uncomfortable thing to use for Metroid.
You
Other
hold
M.
it sideways for Other M.
Yeah,
Why
but
design a game? Why design a game like the nunchuck didn't even exist in the
Thank
box?
you. Thank
Like
you.
it didn't make any sense.
What? Well, okay, I don't understand.
But he
Y'all
got a point
supposed to
there.
understand
Okay.
that the Other end was.
Hey, how about this?
It
How
was not
about
supposed
this?
to be prime. Y'all
How
don't
about this?
understand that.
Guys, no, we understand that, but
I
how
didn't
about
mind it
this?
not being prime.
Both games suck. Thank you for watching the podcast.
No, Other M did not suck.
Outros.
Andromeda? Other M.
Outros. Jordan, where can they find you at, my man?
You can find me at YouTube on Jordan Fringe. I open Pokemon cards daily with a bunch of jokes and memes and a good, wholesome community over there. Go check it out. We're finally on the rise, getting close to 30,000 again. So
Heck yeah, man.
Dope.
I'm excited for your channel, dude. I'm really excited. I told a couple friends too. Well, not friends, people that I know about your channel. They subscribed, so good stuff. Abaddon, big plans tonight, my man. What's up?
Playing Link's Awakening tonight in literally about 15 minutes.
So if you can link your channel too. I'm sorry that
I got you. I got
link
you.
your channel. You guys want to watch some Link's Awakening tonight? Feel free to head on over to Abaddon's channel. Even if you don't want to watch, make sure you guys go subscribe to everybody's channels here. Shadow Fox, where can they find you at, my man?
Man, all over YouTube. You know how it goes. And hopefully I'll do my live stream for Nintendo Switch Online, especially since invites are finally there now. So that'll be interesting to talk about. But
I keep forgetting that's there now.
Yeah. But other than that, I'll just be constantly destroying people on Twitter one by one. So just follow me on Twitter, follow me on YouTube, and you'll see. We'll go from there, and then we'll do some tech talks.
Good stuff. And Mr. T, where can they find you?
I'm on YouTube as well. Been there about 5 years, and Twitter. Just click my name in the. I'm in the chat log if you want to get over there quickly and subscribe to Old Boy's channel. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
No problem. Thanks for coming on, dude. Appreciate it. And Baron, where can they find you at, my man?
He's muted.
Oh, my bad.
This guy.
Hey, y'all know where to find me. Find me on that Twitter. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be, busting Sony drones' asses all day. Y'all also can check out my channel with this new video I got. Videos hot. I go in on Death Stranding more than I did before. If you want to see some good Death Stranding bash in their chat, I also talk about other things that are important, like state of play, if that is even important. Join me to watch State of Play in the last Tuesday. I will be live streaming it on both. Other than that,
wow,
Astral Chain Game of the Year. Other M was good. Stop hating.
I don't know about any of those last statements you just said, but sure.
And I'll be tomorrow on the channel. You guys are gonna see a brand new video in the morning. I'm gonna change the time though. This whole 6 a.m. stuff, it doesn't got to be that. So I'll just upload videos whenever I can. It doesn't matter at this point. We gotta figure out something.
That's kind of early.
Yeah, it's kind of early for. I mean, I usually do them in the night and just schedule them, but I'll just do them whenever I feel like it at this point. So you guys will get a video. I just don't know exactly when, but it'll be a good video. So yeah, that'll be that. And then also we'll have unboxing Switch Lite. We'll have Link's Awakening gameplay as well tomorrow on the channel, and we'll have OJ live, and we'll have probably Splatoon as well. So it's gonna be like 6 or 7 hours of streaming tomorrow. So look out for that. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys for the next one.
Peace.
No flat grass game. No flat grass game.
Hey, yo, OJ, peep the Discord chat real fast.
All right.